live. We did it.
Long.
Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks. We've made it through another week. I didn't think 2020 could go another week. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought they were gonna give in. I was feeling 2020 was gonna tap out.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck is making that noise? Oh, my ice is melting.
Why is my drink looking at me this way? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Reflection.
I was going to do like a road dog sort of introduction for you, Manzi, but I can't remember how it starts anymore now that the camera's on, so it's over with.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah. That wasn't even it. It was the other part, the Degeneration X. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Wrestling on the Rocks proudly brings to you its Long Island scumbag of the world, Iron Manzi.
What's up, man? How are you?
How you doing, man?
Thank you for having me on here. It's been a minute. The last time I saw you, you were giving me the old 3 count in your in the practice.
Yeah.
And Sindel hit me with a sick famouser, and like I think I spiked on my head, and you popped up, and you're like, oh
yeah, oh god, it's happening, it's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah. The first match I ever ref front to bottom was during training with you. So you'll always be my first.
Front to bottom?
Front to bottom.
Okay.
That's how matches go. They start in the front and they go to the bottom. Okay. That's the whole thing.
If you look at my singlet, the front is not see-through, the bottom is.
Yes.
I never knew that for the longest time.
Until you heard a bunch of groans on your last pin. And it was just, oh! What happened? What are they talking about out there?
So for those that don't know, Manzi's indie.
Yeah, Manzi's a wrestler. He's got his own PWTs, so he's legit. That's how we know he's real.
Always.
That's how we know he's real.
We totally didn't just go over a training story. No, not at all.
Yeah. No. That part was iffy.
Yeah.
When people go,
But you got the website, so it's official.
Yeah. People go, I hear you, but does he got a PWTs? Because if he doesn't, I'm not listening.
I opened up my PWT before they started making it free, and I just surpassed their 10,000 follower thing.
Wait, they made it free?
Go ahead.
They made it free?
Yeah. So for every wrestler right now, because they want to help each other and things like that, they made it to where any shop you open is free, which is really cool because you used to have to pay for it.
Yeah, I did. I definitely did pay for it.
We're not
$75, correct?
Yeah.
We're not wrestlers.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, but I'm a shop.
Any shop that you open, you'd have to either have 10,000 subscribers or followers all together in social media.
Yeah.
Or you had to pay $75 for a storefront tee. That way, it was guaranteed that you sell something, whether it be one shirt or two. It's basically covering their asses for you just not sitting there opening a fucking store on their site.
Yeah. We don't. No, but that's just it. Is if you had 10,000 social media followers between all your social medias, then they would grant you one for free because they would say, well, you're probably going to sell 20 shirts.
Yeah.
Out of 10,000 people, we probably could get you 20 flipped. Otherwise, they said, we never heard of you. No one else has also ever heard of you. You're really trying to sell shirts to your friends and family. I don't even know if your friends like you that much. You're going to have to pay us $75 for us to just do this as a favor.
That's our level.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
That's us. That's where we're at. Top tier.
We all start somewhere, man.
Yeah. Harmless Demon made it. What's up, Harmless Demon? I like to
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm not
What's in your glass, Mark?
That was still warm. Kevlar, what are you drinking? What's in your cup?
Castmates, Jameson.
Casmates Jameson.
No.
Producer's having the cold brew. I'm having Bullet Bourbon. As we get going, Manzi.
And I'm having a cold glass of disappointment.
Ooh. You don't even have like a spritzer?
No, I got nothing, brother.
All right, he's going to get parched.
Honestly,
You're drinking the Clump Special?
Yes.
You know what Clump would drink every time he'd show up at the house was my ginger beer. And then once he left and we asked why he wasn't drinking ginger beer, he said, well, because I hate ginger beer. It's disgusting and upsets my stomach. And I said, that's weird because you drank a shitload of my ginger beer.
For like a year. Okay?
Yeah, almost a year. So I'm just saying, I don't want you to get dry mouth. If you had a water bottle or something, you could celebrate it. That's all. Mandy's not drinking with us today, but he is hanging with us today.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah. At some point, he's just gonna like turn the camera off for a second, and be like, "No, I'm here," and then you're gonna hear the ice crushing in the refrigerator and stuff. Let's see. Oh, man. I gotta start.
That long sigh is a whole week of wrestling where some cool shit happens.
It is. There's a lot of good stuff, I think. So, let me ask you this, Manzi. Do you feel like since quarantine and stuff, are you watching more or less wrestling than you did prior to quarantine?
Probably equal. You know, one thing I did more of, which was actually subscribe to certain channels. Like, if you guys don't have IWTV, you're foolish, because then you can watch some really, really sick promotions. I love watching freelance wrestling. Beyond Wrestling is on there. You get, like, GCW events, things like that. So I feel like slightly more, but also, like, the same amount somewhat. You know, where, like, I'll watch my weekly shows, and if I don't catch that, I'll watch a recap, because I don't want to go through something.
That makes sense.
I think slightly more. Probably more independent companies, you know, because I think with this whole quarantine thing happening, you know, like, I knew AEW and, like, all the mainstream companies are going to thrive because they're like, well, fuck, you guys are stuck with us now. We had you by the balls before, but now we got the token death grip on your shit, and now we're gonna go ham on you.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think a lot of indie companies I'm missing more than anything because I miss seeing my friends. And I miss seeing guys that I, you know, have been in locker rooms with being successful and tearing shit up. So I think I've been watching a lot of, like, older indie matches more than anything, kind of to get that feeling back.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Now, when this all was really kicking off, everybody's numbers dipped real low. We're starting to see AEW and NXT they're getting back up. They're getting kind of high. They were really close to the 800s this past 2 weeks. And they're getting closer together. There was a huge gap between them during a lot of the quarantine, too. So, I don't know. I was just kind of... I don't know. I was thinking about it because we had a conversation once about why do you think people aren't watching right now? Do you think people are sick of TV and stuff? But now it's like, well, what do you think's bringing everyone back? Because all of a sudden they're clicking back in. Do you think it really has that much to do with there being a, quote, audience?
Well, there's always going to be a wrestling audience, whether we like it or not. Whether they're good, bad, or not together as one. We're always going to have one, and that's the ideal mainstream viewer. The guy who's channel surfing through the TV or the generic whatever the hell you're using, and he's going to stumble across it at least once. I feel like with the pandemic happening at the moment, it's slightly increased with that, where, you know, people are desperate for sports.
Yeah.
You know, they're desperate for something to watch. Like, yo, I watched UFC, but I was never fucking happier for a UFC event to happen than I was a month ago, where they're doing empty arena matches, and I'm just like, please, give me something.
Yeah, and I've been petty about it. I've been petty.
Exactly.
I've been way petty about it because I'm always like, oh, you guys give me all this shit for liking this sport that I like, and oh, it's your fake fucking sport. Oh, where's your fucking sports now, dude? Yeah.
Non-hockey fans like, shut watching hockey right now. I'd be like, I'm gonna bitch slap you. Don't start that with me.
Yeah. The second that dude on basketball rubbed the table and rubbed his face and then walked off and had COVID immediately, I was like, yeah, fuck all of basketball. WWE, boy.
But you always said that stance on basketball.
What? Yeah, I've always thought that.
I think it's like a big group right now. This is all going to make indie wrestling at the end of the day fucking beautiful. Because, you know, certain companies that never had viewers before, or maybe certain companies that didn't have an audience before, are going to get that now.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
I just hope they can get through
it. As a whole here, wrestling is going to come out stronger from this, as well as we all are people if we're going through this with our generation or even the younger generation to come. I think this all taught us to truthfully appreciate things, to value each other in a better perspective and a different perspective, as well as the things that we have so much more of, like sports and everything else like that, things that are at the grasp at our fingertips. When shit's just taken away like that, we all turn into somebody else, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I hope that as long as the indies guys, as long as the big companies can get through it, I'm curious to see how many are not on the other side, how many merge to survive. Like, I think that could be cool in certain regions. But I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. Do you ever watch NWA?
Slightly. I find myself not as much, but I got a chance to work with Zicky Dice on a certain spot, so it's really nice to see him, kind of doing really well. So rule number one is wrestler kids, always bring your gear. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed if you mess up. The one time I didn't, I missed out on an opportunity to work in a battle royal with him and Macho Mouse. And I was really, really sad about it. So
Yeah, I bring my ref.
kind of like do a. Go ahead.
I bring my ref stuff in the back of the car from going anywhere that's even got a ring.
It was so with Party Hard Wrestling, like they're pretty guaranteed with the guys they book. Like they're the best promotion in Arizona. So like if they have a card, they have a card. And like I didn't even know the promoter liked me or was even watching me until we got there and I got to his house, like load in the ring stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching your stuff. Do you want to work tonight?" And I just sat there. I was so mad.
Started crying. You just look at him and just
he was like character, this edgy fucking loudmouth motherfucker in Party Hard.
Yeah,
like that would have been sick.
That would have been awesome.
Yo, when I got the Crimson crowd, that crowd was like this for me. I had them in the palm of my hand, and I was able to make them jump and however high I said. And like with that audience as well. That's not to sound like a jerk or anything, but like with that audience as well. Like they have that, like they're ready, they're rowdy kind of vibe, and I love that environment.
Yeah, and Zicky Dice also has disgusting gear, so you guys would have been great together.
Oh, he's awesome! I love his gear. He's got himself on his trunks. That's sick.
Yeah, but when he goes down, it's the nose right up on the craw, and then he's got like his mouth up where the butthole ought to be. So when he falls down, you just go, "Oh!" Like it takes
kind
you.
Like it's like, am I looking at a reflection of how I'm about to be? Or
yeah, it's gnarly. He knows what he's doing. I got to meet him though. I went to the NWA Hard Times, and he was there. Nice. He went to sign my poster, and he like had just opened the paint pen, just opened it, shook it a whole bunch, and then pressed down right on the thing. So it just boom blew up, and he's like, ah! Ah! Like he like starts to sign and goes, oh god, and he's like trying to like smear it over, and you can. I'm literally watching like Marty Bell look over at him, and she looks at me, and she looks down at it, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "You're supposed to dab it on like a paper towel when you, because it's all loose. You gotta soak it up." And he goes, "Ah," and then he takes the money I'd handed him to try to sop it up, but money's not absorbent, so it's just smearing it more. And he's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Well, your signature is outlandish," and he's all like, "I feel so bad." I feel so bad. He goes, is there anything I can do? And I was like, just let it dry, I guess. Like,
you're good, bro.
And it never dried. The follow-up story to that.
It dried. The canvas didn't.
Well, to like 2-3 weeks later.
No, that was the turn pad. He did the poster.
Oh,
if you look at that big silver spot in the poster, it took a while though, and I had other people sign it, and I walked over like, watch out for Zicky's signature. It's a fucking mess. It's still wet. He was good. But he was a cool dude. He said he would do the show. He said he would come on here, and when I was in Atlanta, I was all like, hey, let's try to meet up so we can actually just do. I think it would be cool to just do a video where we're sitting down and having a drink together or something. But it didn't quite turn out that way. But maybe at some point we'll get him. Let's see. Anything happened in the news? Wrestling news this week?
Oh, good. There hasn't been much. I mean, there is something that's incredibly controversial that I cannot remember her name on, where there was the Japanese reality star wrestler that ended up taking her own life. But
Hannah?
I don't know if we really want to touch on that because that was kind of recent.
We talked about her last week. Was there something that happened after that?
No, I didn't know if you guys touched on it last week. Sorry.
Also, NJPW's coming back.
NJPW's announced they're coming back. They've announced their first show back. From what I can tell, Osprey still can't get there. So there's a bunch of people talking about how great it is to have NJPW back, and everyone else is just sad that Osprey's not there. Which I get, but NJPW is coming back, so we're starting to see it. Hopefully they have plexiglass up.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
Did you guys notice that the plexiglass is echoing the room now? So when Charlotte Flair did her first chop, I was like, holy shit, that's the best chop Charlotte's ever done. I was like, she's never done a chop that good. And then she did it again. I was like, holy shit, she's just laying them now. It's like, she's got it.
She's on fire.
Yeah, it took her all this time to get us. Yeah. And then I forget who it was, but I want to say it was like Angel or someone did like just a drop kick where they slapped their leg, and it was like the same kind of crack. And I was all like, oh, it's the fucking plexiglass.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, I got worked.
I did see an article that those guys are actually doing well in business. Plexiglass.
The plexiglass guys? Oh, yeah, they're fucking loving it right now.
Hockey season's ended. They're like, fuck, what are we going to do?
Yeah. What do you mean hockey's gone away? What are we going to do? Everything else.
What the fuck you mean?
Hardware stores, software stores, anything. We're doing it. We'll be there.
We're fucking done.
Yeah.
I like the way it looks. I think wrestling should have always had plexiglass.
I kind of do like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like it?
I've had fans jump guardrails at me and throw shit at me, so like I kind of like the idea of the fact that I could sit there and be more of a douchebag and like not come into contact with them as much.
It's because you have an iron jaw.
Like I'll get in people's grills, yo, and like I'll challenge them. And in the back of my head, I'm like, yo, if he socks me, I'm going down right now, probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look like a bitch.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be me not prepared, just running my mouth. He's just gonna go dead.
I feel like
Manzi's got a glass jaw. Iron Manzi glass jaw. What are you gonna do?
Okay. I can't defend this, but I'm going to defend this. It's not a glass jaw as much as it is. Like, if I don't see something coming, I'll kind of, like see it unexpectedly, and then I'll just eat shit, and then be dazed for a second. I'm like, wait, that just happened. It's a glass jaw, but it's me defending it to sound cooler.
Yeah. Well, I think also it makes you a bigger scumbag to think that you can't fight, right? What a fucking ass to sit here and get in everyone's face and then go like, oh, no,
Yeah.
I can't take that. Like, like it makes it worse, so which makes it better. So I think that's all good. What was your question?
I don't know if AEW actually, if that works to their advantage, because I feel like some of their heels like being in the crowd and getting in people's faces that they don't know.
Yeah, they don't use the plexiglass.
Yeah.
They're not using it. And I do also think that on the indies, it's a quick way to get heat from your local crowd because that's all you need, right? But when you're on national TV and the way that MJF does it comes off to me as super cheap heat. And I'm like, you should be better than having to do that petty stuff.
Okay.
You should be bigger than that now. Because I think that's how you work a room, not how you work an audience. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Manzi can go right up to the oldest man in the room and say, you frail old shit, I'll knock your jaw off, and make you turn your bones into dust. And then everyone goes, dude, he's fucking with that old man. That's bullshit. And the word gets around a little group. But you go to national television and you're just all like, why is that wrestler yelling at an old man? Like, doesn't he have other people to be concerned about? Like, it doesn't play well to me on a national scale the way it does on an indie room.
It's a little bit different. That's the most critique I've got with my character is because when I kind of broke in, I had no idea what I was going to do. I knew I had a voice to yell and to project myself. To project myself slightly.
It's from Screaming on the Yard. It's his yard
Say
voice.
again?
It's from Screaming on the Yard. It's your yard voice.
Yeah. So being on the front lawn just yelling at people in New York City, you have to do that. Fuck you! Just the whole time. But no, and then the weirdest thing happened with the character. My second match ever, I was wrestling my trainer, Miracle Mike James, and we're having this long, meaningful conversation because Mike likes to preach every fucking practice where he just sounds like an old man and just yells at kids. Mm-hmm. So we were having one of his preaching segments, as I call it, and he looks at me, he goes, "Who the fuck even are you?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "No, what is your character? I have to work you tonight. I have no idea what to do with you. Yeah. Aren't all New Yorkers supposed to be scumbags?" And I was like light bulbs. I was like, "Oh." And I'm like, "Oh, this makes sense to me." And,
first off, it makes sense because it's true.
No, if any of you came to Long Island or any part of New York, you'll understand.
We live there.
We live there.
Are fucking
Yeah,
what'd you say?
I lived in New York for 6 years on the island.
Yeah, each of us 6 years.
Yeah, so did her.
God, though, you know how people are.
Yeah, it's so good.
Driving, convenience stores, it's just go, 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 go.
You've seen that Thomas Dale skit, the video online that was the shit Long Island people say?
Yeah.
That was my buddy. I helped him with one of his video after that. But
really?
Yeah, but I always would think of that shit when I would think of you, of you can get some real good Long Island shit that really pops some people, I think.
And that's why, when Frank Powers came into my life to develop my character some more, it was just so funny.
Yeah, he's perfect for that.
The shit that me and him would come up with, I was like, God, I wish you were my manager. because this would be the funniest thing in the world.
He can turn on that Long Island. He can turn it on. All right, well, I don't think there's anything else left in the news, to be honest. Let's see here.
Got my cold brew, got my coffee.
Okay. AEW.
Brother.
Manzi, what is
The
your
boogie.
overall feeling of the AEW?
Say again, man?
What is your overall feeling of AEW and Dynamite? How do you feel about it week after week?
Well, for me personally, I love it. I think it's different. You know, AEW has, since it started, been very, very fun for me, and it gives me an opportunity to actually see something from, you know, what they think the fans want. Because, I mean, like, realistically, if you look at the booking of AEW, they're not going to give you what you want necessarily, but they're going to give you the characters we want and the guys that we want to see wrestle. And I genuinely like them. I love the fact that they have AEW Dark, where the guys who are, you know, typically not there yet for main cards, or like they don't have anything for them at the time, they still get to wrestle. You know, they still get a chance to entertain an audience. So I feel like AEW appeals to more of the, I would say, the mature fans, kind of, but also I think they're trying to get their demographic to be like either teenagers or like right at that point to where they could bring some kids in. I mean, they're introducing action figures and shit like that too. So I mean, who's gonna be first to buy an action figure? You know, your children or
mature versus immature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this will be good because I'll make you defend this shit.
That's what we say in the club. To be fair, it's not
Yeah. I do like that you made that caveat because I've heard a lot of people say things all like, "Oh, flat out WWE's for children and AEW's for adults." I don't get that impression. I get the impression when I watch it that WWE is for all audiences, and I do get the impression that AEW is really trying to hunker that 14 to 23 kind of area. Yep. Because I feel like they're just thinking like, oh, if we just live in there, we can ride or die.
It can backfire really quickly.
I think it could, but I don't know. But it could work. Mm. So I'm definitely interested to see how it plays out because I agree it could backfire like a motherfucker, but it could also be a place where you can just kind of rest your laurels, as they say. It's definitely not how you get to be number one, but it is a place where you can hang out and be number two for a long time.
Absolutely.
In my mind, but I don't know. I've never run a business like that. I could be way off, and I'm not an insider. That's the thing here. We don't pretend to be hack wrestling journalists. We just actually be drunk wrestling fans yelling about it.
So you're basically every indie fan at a show.
Hell yeah, dude.
You're just drunk wrestling fans yelling about it.
Yeah. Like pointless aggression.
Yeah. There's a plug. Hell yeah.
That shit, I feel like we're respectful.
Yeah, I actually feel like at shows we're better behaved than all the other ones, and I'm always all like, these jerks are yelling at them.
Fucking mortals.
They're
Save it for your show.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you do this on this show, guys? Let's see. I got a question for you, Manzi. Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega versus Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. This is a company where I'm led to believe that wins and losses matter, and they determine all things. This is the first televised match that I've ever seen of Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc, maybe the second. And they get a tag title shot right away as their second match of being a tag team.
Yeah. So with that, now what's the question with that? Are you asking me how I like the match, or are you asking me my opinion of the win-loss bullshit that apparently fucking matters when Brian Cage literally just got introduced for no fucking reason?
They spend, to me, tell me if I'm way off, to me it feels that they spend more time trying to figure out how to book themselves into a title match that they want because they've promoted so much that they are where a ranking system matters, that they can't get their friends where they want to put them fast enough because they don't know how to work the numbers. So we end up with a lot of battle royals. We end up with a lot of these random matches where someone just challenges. Yeah, and then it's like, all you got to do is ask. And it's like, okay, well, then why is the ranking system?
Yeah, like it's like, hey, look at here, you're 0-20, but
yeah, but you asked. I was really hoping with the TNT number one contender title thing with Cody coming out before the match and saying it's an open challenge, anyone can challenge for it ever. I was hoping they would at least pull a gimmick where someone flat out just doesn't show up and says, I'll just challenge next week anyways. Or someone loses it, walks over to the mic and say, I'll see you in 2 weeks, Cody, and your open challenge. Yeah. Do something with it where it's all like, look, we just wanted to get to Jungle Boy and Cody. We didn't know how to do it. And we thought we'd kill some time. Like,
that's fair.
But other than that, I'm glad that Hangman and Kenny won. What do you think of FTR being over there, dude?
Wait, sorry? I thought you were talking to the other gentleman. My bad, I zoned out for a minute.
Kevlar did not watch AEW.
Nope.
What did you think of FTR? This is the part where he catches up. He drinks as heavy as he can and then coasts the rest of the show.
Yep.
I'll fucking carry you now. God damn it.
Yeah. There's a couple things I definitely wanted to hit in AEW though. One of them, FTR. What do you think about them being there?
Dude, good for them. You know, any kind of situation where someone is unhappy somewhere else and they go somewhere else where they feel like they're going to be happier. For example, Luke Harper. Look at that. Look at that transition from someone who literally said 3 words, yeah. You know, that you see all this potential that Brody Lee has. You see every single thing on the indies that he did and what he accomplished, and then he's kind of belittled to a gimmick to where he's someone like a big scary monster, where in reality he's incredibly intelligent. His psychology is beyond his years, and he has all of this fucking just this talent. You know, same thing with FTR. Those guys are going to do great there. I'm glad they're happy, and I really, really want to see them do well because, you know, for a while they were taken very seriously in NXT for a long time.
Yeah.
Then they go to the main roster, then they're kind of, I wouldn't say belittled, but they're kind of resorting to where, okay, hey, you know, we have to do this now, or fuck, we got to go do this. And they're just in the air. Like, they're floating. You know, and that's one thing I think AEW is establishing more is a tag team division. You know, and I think the tag team division runs deep over there, and I really like the way they do it. Despite the record system, we'll kind of throw that aside. You know, I think their tag team division is just super strong, and they can pull good matches out each time.
Their tag team division is so strong that their champions are Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, 2 single stars, and they just defended the title against Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc, 2 people who were never
Also
a team
singles.
before that. So I do agree they have a deep tag team roster that we just don't fucking see. What I do think's great about FTR is they've been working their online gimmick for so many years about following the rules, about tag teams mattering, about tag teams being able to
This
main
will just
event.
add a whole new ball game.
If they do this right, this could be sick. Did you listen to FTR on the Jim Cornette podcast?
No.
Are you peeing or pouring a drink?
Pouring a drink.
Okay.
Because
I didn't sure
one
how
will resort did something very bad at the end of this.
I didn't know how late we were in the show, and that's how I tell. Because at some point it will not be him pouring a drink, and I go, oh.
I'm showing a caution symbol for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Good.
So you did not listen to him on Cornette? Did you listen to the tag team on Cornette?
No, Cornette's show I kind of go in and out of because he's very, very out, like, not to, like, shout Ziggy Dice out. Like, he's, like, kind of outlandish with his opinion, kind of.
Even if you like Cornette, he can be hard to stomach. Even if you like him. He's definitely hard to get through at times, for sure.
He's someone you kind of be like, I like him, but he's like a guilty pleasure in wrestling, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you love what he's done, and you love everything about him, but, like, your opinions, you can't agree with them sometimes.
Yeah, there's definitely times where you have to go like, okay, dude, I don't know.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I had to take a few weeks off listening to it, and I only went back to listen to FTR on it because I thought, well, this is the first time they're talking. Here's people that have really been promoting each other for a long time, Cornette and FTR, and I was really curious. You should listen to it because it sounded to me like a fucking promo. Almost the whole thing. I was like, huh. So, I don't know. I think they could do really well if they pull this whole thing off. And how clever is it to establish in the company how little the rules matter and how much they steamroll their refs, and then bring in a couple of guys who part of their slogan is follow the rules. You've now made bad guys because they want to follow the rules in an environment where it's usually the bad guy because they cheat and the good guy's following the rules. Like, they've flipped it. And that's really cool.
And that's on psychology, son.
Hell yeah. I think it's going to be really
storytelling.
cool. Supposedly they're on a handshake deal and they don't actually have a contract, so I don't know what that means or where it's going to go. But I'll tell you, I'm the most interested in them right now.
I'm imagining it just kind of means like, hey, we'll pay you to kind of come in and let's just see if you like it or not.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a bunch of people who weren't signed to come in and do stuff.
Yeah. Kota Ibushi, I think it was, for one of them.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb.
Oh, what a missed opportunity.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities over here. I feel like the biggest issue with AEW is they think that all the boys can have equal voice, and they don't have a singular vision. And I think that's where a lot of things just get missed, because it's all like, well, we just can't now. I do want to talk about Taz. What do you think about Taz on there?
A lot of my answers are going to be kind of similar here, but like it's kind of like one of those things where it's good for him. Really, what does Taz have to offer at the moment? What is Taz doing? He can't wrestle. If he can do... I love his announcing. Fuck all of you that say Taz and Michael Cole suck together. They were great together. Taz awesome. Announcing is fantastic to me. I love the way he talks, the way he kind of does everything. Certain times he says some stupid shit, but look, I'll take that over JBL. I'll take that over fucking... God. The one English commentator.
Which one?
Not Nigel McGuinness, the other dude. Who
Morrow?
Does,
Morrow.
Yeah. I'll take him over Morrow in a way. I like Mauro Ranella, but he's very catchphrase oriented. And with Taz, it was very genuine. Like, I got a genuine reaction out of him every time something happened. Like, I just like that. I like the realism with certain people. They don't rely on certain catchphrases when they're announcing, because then they're putting themselves over, not the things that they're watching in front of them.
Yeah.
You can tell a good commentator by a guy who's not putting over themselves, and, they're putting over the talent in front of them. Like, oh my God, Mamma Mia. No, you're just taking away from what you just saw with your own catchphrase. Come up with something different and help them get over for their character. Because at the end of the day, if you want to do that and you want to do your own thing, either become a manager, become a referee, become a talent to where you're projected in the ring. Yeah. If you're taking away action from the ring while I'm watching, I'm going to be paying attention to more of you than I would be a wrestler. And that's what it's about. That's why we have commentators to elaborate what we're thinking as we're watching it happen.
Yeah, Morrow's definitely been really involved in making himself a character, so much so that NXT put a whole video up of highlights of Morrow commentating for one of the takeovers.
Reacting to things.
Yeah.
Not the things that are happening in front of him reacting to the things that other people are doing.
Yeah, the camera was on him for it, and I was all like, well, is that the best use of a commentator?
Which is good. Like, hey, man, if it works, it works, and if you're getting money that way, that's awesome. I don't want to shit on the guy. He's incredibly talented.
Yeah.
But I like his calls in boxing because the Mamma Mia thing wasn't so saturated, and they felt like it wasn't used as catchphrase. So it could be somebody else telling him to do this, and it's not to shit on him personally. It's just like...
No, I
again,
do
what
think...
I said before, it's taking away from what I'm looking at right now. If you're just fucking throwing out 25-year catchphrases. If you do it like twice, that's cool. But if you're doing it every fucking match, every high spot, I'm going to be annoyed by it.
Yeah,
Taz didn't do that. He came up with particular catchphrases or particular things he would say, that big moments that would happen, and it felt more genuine.
Yeah,
I noticed that in your house, how much times Mara would say the same thing, and it was that's when I really noticed it, and I was like,
making references.
Like, this is getting kind of old.
Yeah, all of his like hip hop references and pop culture references, and the fact that he'll just steamroll over the guys talking next to him.
I'll like the pop culture, like his little references and things like that. Like, that's relevant, and that keeps people like with the end somewhat.
It can, but it also can pull away. Like, watch when Lio Rush wins the Cruiserweight title. Watch when Lio Rush wins it. Just watch the moment he wins it, and then listen to Morrow pull out his predetermined, just like this, and goes into this whole quote of this thing, and it really pulled away from the emotion that Leo was feeling, because you were suddenly like listening to his whole rant about this one Bismarck key quote or some shit, And I was all like, ugh. And I also think that it works out better in the real fights with UFC and with boxing and stuff. It's a different. It's not the same type of story.
Know what's happening.
Yeah, and wrestling is so story oriented.
With UFC, like I love Joe Rogan's podcast, by the way.
Yeah,
that guy just cracks me up. With like UFC 250, there was a knockout literally a quarter second before the fucking the air horn hit, and like everyone's reaction was so genuine. Like, I love that reaction. Like, whoa, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then with wrestling being such a story-driven thing, then I really don't need you trying to pull away from the story, where in the UFC or anything like that, it being such an action-driven thing that you're not going to pull away from it, because I already saw it.
It's apples and oranges at that point. They're two different things.
Exactly.
But,
that's why I like him more in those other atmospheres than I can in those big, meaningful moments in NXT. So.
Yeah, that's why I like other workers that are doing commentary.
Yeah.
It's fun, because they'll actually play to the part, and they'll be surprised. And like, even if it's just joking around, it's so much better. Like, I like hearing Joey Janela on commentary for GCW because he'll put over the other guys and also make inside jokes about them. And then when a guy, like a bad guy, does something stupid, he'll like, be the generic commentator, kind of like, "Oh, that son of a bitch, that bastard, he just kicked him in the fucking shin." That's funny to me. Like, yeah. I don't have to take you seriously, but at least you're playing the part.
Yeah. I will say, with that in mind, that's the one complaint I have about Taz right now, is him using his own catchphrase for Brian Cage. He's using that to end his promos, and it's a crutch right now, and he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Taz is shook a little bit on his confidence and is relying on old things, or if they're just telling him, "Hey, go play your hits." But I think that Taz is good enough and clever enough that he could come up with something for Cage, or Cage could even hand something over and say, "Just end it with this because this is my T-shirt." You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we're selling Taz T-shirts right now, and I want you to be selling Cage T-shirts. You know?
That could be one of those things to where it could be either creative, them kind of like meeting in the middle somewhat, or maybe something we could see unfold in further times.
Yeah. I just hope that he drops his old catchphrase and gets a new one for Cage. That's all. Other than that, I do think it's great.
It's going to make Cage look like a jackass in the end of the day.
It does. When he's all like, "Win if you can, survive if he lets you," to me is all like, well, I thought this was about Cage, and it just really sounds like it's not now.
Like, if anything, just switch the words around.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Something weird.
The champion, Big Swole.
The big old Scrolls brother.
FTR, I really liked their interview with Tony Schiavone.
It's nice seeing Schiavone do some work too.
Excuse me. It's funny. I do like I liked it when there was the one where Jericho was on commentary with him and said some smart ass thing like, that's why they don't sell Tony Schiavone shirts. And Tony responds with, "I do have shirts. They're at loisrules.com." Like, his wife's name. And then you just hear Jericho go, "Oh, well, they're probably awful." It's like, he was so quick to just be like, "I do."
Like they're like their hands in like their fucking mouths, kind of like themselves slightly.
Yeah. Let's see. So, was there anything in that show you wanted to touch ground on specifically? Anything you particularly highlighted? AEW. What do you think about their use of blood here?
I've always been a fan of blood in wrestling. That's just me personally.
That's right. I had to try to talk you out of light tubes once.
No, yeah, you can't do that, buddy.
I couldn't. I was nowhere near it.
I like violence.
But I tried. I was like, please no light tubes.
Because you're going to ref the match. You're like, "Dude, please." And I'm just like, "Cover your face."
I don't want light tubes.
And I'm like, "You're fine. Like, I won't hit you with any, but, if you're in the way, you're in the way."
Yeah.
But, so I'll take this onto a more serious note. Wrestling with blood to an extent. Okay, obviously, certain people that bleed, I personally believe, get a fucking blood test. Make sure you're up to date. Make sure you are good, you're healthy, because not only am I putting my life at risk, cutting myself and leaving myself with, permanent marks on my head, but also I'm putting your life in danger because you don't know what I have and I don't know what you have.
Yeah.
People need to be smart about that. I like the WWE's usage of blood, which is very minimal, and they only use it for big spots, and if they do it, they do it in a more realistic way because wrestling has been, everyone knows how we do it. Everyone knows how wrestlers cut themselves, and, I think there needs to be a certain, reality factor with that, or, the way they use it. But for AEW to kind of use it, freely somewhat, I feel like a lot of workers are happy about it, but if you're going to do it, be safe. I have nothing against it. I'm pro-deathmatch and things like that, but at the same time, if you're going to fucking bleed, get a blood test. Doesn't cost you anything. Make sure you're up to date on your stuff, and just be safe about it, Wrestling is, we're all here to either help each other, or if you want to help yourself, you can along the way, but, safety is the number one priority inside of any wrestling company, and I like the way they do it for that.
Yeah, I think a pandemic's poor timing, for one, but I think more importantly for me, that's pretty important, but I do think that for me, I think that the use of blood can be so critical to push a story to a certain limit, to push it to a certain point. Like, you think of Austin and Brett, that match would have been almost nothing without it would have been nothing, but that match became it became legendary because of the use of blood there. And I feel like that Cody uses it so freely that it actually undermines the use of it now. I feel like the fact it happened in a Jungle Boy spot.
Just a second, I'm gonna text really quickly. I'm so sorry. It's
all right. The fact that he did it in this Jungle Boy spot where it was just like kind of a normal clothesline and they walk away and come back and now he's bleeding. I thought it kind of undermined the whole thing, and then the whole story became about Cody clearly cut himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a different story than I think it needed to be, and I think that I don't have a problem with them doing it, but I wish they picked their spots better, I guess, you know?
Yeah, it could be, like you said, you push a story to a certain extent, and it could either be really good or really bad. If you do it the right way and you're not bleeding all the time where fans are going to expect it out of you, it's going to have more meaning. Because in reality, at the end of the day, we can sit there. I don't use the F word for wrestling ever, and that's a big rule for me. In reality, you know, we're made to believe a story we're telling with our bodies. And if I'm bleeding every single time I go out to the ring, my story will eventually become either faded or you can tell my story easier when I go out there. So I think that it has to have a strong meaning in the same sense, you know?
Yeah, it starts making your skull look soft.
If I have like a 4-week build-up with me and Aaron Andrews and I just fucking pop him one really good, he's busted open everywhere. Holy shit, what happened there?
Yeah.
You know, like people are they're gonna look at it and go, oh, what? This hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
You want that reaction.
Yeah, this has gotten elevated. This has gotten to a certain level where...
Yeah, it's like you've gone to the same trainings as me. Wrestling is this, man. We're going to bring you up, then pull you back down. Bring you up, pull you back down until we reach the climax.
Yeah.
You know, and then it'll be a sweet relief.
And this is just starting to feel like Cody's got a real soft skull. It just doesn't take much anymore. It's like his skin's barely holding together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like loose.
He's harnessing Dusty's in there fucking the blade job.
Yeah.
You gotta bust yourself open to that, Daddy. You gotta go up in there. You gotta just cut away.
Yeah.
Cut away like me in a promo. Just slice, Daddy.
I'm starting to feel like he's got old man skin on his head where he's got to take like ibuprofen, otherwise it won't stop bleeding.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the bottom of his testicles is just like kind of moving to the top of his forehead and fucking morphing like a Power Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You know how you hang out with your grandpa sometimes and he just goes, oh, I don't even know how I ripped my skin. And you're like, it's just old skin. What are you going to do? That's what's going to happen to Cody's head. It's what it starts to feel like. If Jungle Boy does nothing and he's like, oh my God. So, yeah, it's fucking...
He's gonna do it in the middle of an interview.
He's gonna fucking start like doing the old Abby and tapping the top of his head and start busting everywhere.
Yeah, he kind of like scrubs his...
What are you doing this for?
Yeah, he just kind of like rubs his eyebrow and just... Oh! Like, oh, man, I don't even know what happened. Let's see.
That happened.
So that definitely happened. Otherwise than that, I was excited about Jungle Boy and Cody, but I do feel like once you add blood in it that early, it kind of makes me not care to see Jungle Boy and Cody again for a long time, and that's a bummer because you'd feel like that could be a cool build. But
I want to see more usage of Marco Stunt just because of how controversial he is. I love Marco Stunt. I think someone with that size has a beautiful story to tell of him just getting. I use Zach Galvin's reference a little bit because it's an underdog kind of story.
yeah,
But I see a lot of that with Marco Stunt where like, this guy's never going to fucking do this. And then when he does it, it's awesome.
did you see what Brock Lesnar did to Zach Gallen?
He fucked him up and buried him. That was because Zach Gallen's personal life got between that, though, which led to his burial.
Well,
Ah!
also because he was not going to be believable
Well,
in the ring with someone like a Brock Lesnar. I think Marco
Well,
Stunt would make a really good like car boot. You know, something you can just hold onto the tire and keep it from rolling.
I could see him like go up against like a Rio.
A Rio, him and Riho could have a decent match, maybe.
He has great matches. That's a thing. He has. I will defend this till the day I die. He has good matches. But again, someone that's like 5 foot, yes, it's not necessarily believable. But at the same time, it's one of those things that, for me, like, you know, I'm the very small opinion of that's on Marco's side. You know, for me, like, I just want him to be successful, and I want him to be a big fucking deal. That could be his whole gimmick. He's Marco Stunt, the big deal, and he's 5 foot. You know,
The little deal.
I don't think it's just his.
really.
I
Oh, you had to reach for that one.
I did.
Fuck.
You had to reach down real low, actually, for that one.
Shut up. I'm Woody. Howdy. Fuck off.
Man, he's like, I'm supposed to be the heel here. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
I can't buy him as an athlete in any way, honestly. I don't even think it's just his height. It's just I feel like I can beat him up, and I think that's true.
Yeah.
You probably
Not
could.
athletic.
Yeah, really. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at
I
all.
met
think
him
you put in
once.
that.
I met him once. I went to I was at Starcast and there was a karaoke going on, and producer stayed back in the hotel to work on homework stuff, and I said I'm just gonna go check out this karaoke because it was hosted by Bill Apter, and I really needed a Bill Apter signature before I left because I have this Andy Kaufman piece. I'll send you a picture of it if you want to see it. It's
hell yeah.
Andy Kaufman. It's a comic book thing where it's like the Joker with Batman holding him onto a card, but it's with Lawler.
Oh, that's sick.
I had it signed by Lawler, Jimmy Hart, Jim Ross actually signed it on accident. And then I also got
Okay, you're mad about that.
yeah, I got Bill Apter to sign it. He was the final signature I needed because I was like, Bill Apter introduced Andy to Lawler. Without Bill Apter, there would be no Memphis Kaufman story. So I went there to go meet him, and as I'm there, you know, they promoted all this stuff that just didn't happen, where they said, oh, superstars are going to be everywhere, and wrestlers are going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So she texts me, and she's all like, hey, what wrestlers are there? And I was like, there's no wrestlers. I was like, but there's a kid here that seems really good at singing. And I was like, so it is kind of cool they're letting the kids in, even.
Legit thought.
Yeah, I said, it's kind of cool they're letting people bring their kids and stuff. And I was like, plus the kid's a really good singer. And then when we were watching Double or Nothing, they had the Battle Royal. He came out, and I was all like, what the fuck? Like,
How did he get a spot?
yeah, that little child is out there. Someone save him. And then you must have seen the picture Jericho posted where he said, you know, when I first started, I was told I was too small for this business and whatnot. And he goes, I believe in this guy. And like, he took a picture with Marco Stunt, but Marco Stunt is like the size of Jericho's leg. And you're all like, dude, you're missing the whole point of what you just said. Is you just said that I was too small, and now you're supporting this dude who's not bigger than your leg. Like, if you were pushing boundaries, this is jumping the line.
It goes into that paraphrase of like wrestling's for everybody.
Yeah.
It's debatable. Wrestling is not for everybody, but for me, I believe in Marco. I fucking stand with him, and no matter what happens, you know, I will believe he's an athlete because I'll believe he's an athlete. I'll believe he's whatever he wants to be because, you know, as performers and as wrestlers and as wrestling fans, there's too much negativity. There's like way too much negativity in wrestling to begin with. There are two things that are harder to please other than my ex-girlfriend. It's professional wrestling fans and fucking Star Wars fans. You know?
Fuck,
like,
man.
you never get...
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
The
What'd
fuck?
you say?
I put you on this show for this shit? No. Just coming at me?
Cut his mic.
Damn you all.
We lost connection.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pew, pew. Like,
Well, I don't
No, like, that's like the only thing, you know? Like,
Yeah.
certain things like that, I just feel like it's better to support somebody than to critique them to the point where, like, they are nothing. If they want to do that to themselves and to their own character, cool. But as fans, I think there needs to be a little bit more positivity.
I do think that there could be believable ways to utilize them.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they do that much.
That's my point exactly.
I also
Like,
don't think that
with,
putting...
like, the gimmick I came up for him.
Yeah. I also
The
don't
big deal.
think that putting him in the ring with Lance Archer makes Lance Archer look good.
Yeah, because
That did nothing
Lance
for
Archer
Lance.
is just fucking flailing this dude around,
Yeah.
and he can do that. That makes Marco look resilient, which is great.
But he didn't look resilient. He got thrown out of the ring and was basically dead.
Yeah.
And also, Lance didn't look any better because he looked like he was just beating up a kid. What makes Lance Archer so good is he's so big and strong. He could have done that with anyone from the Dark Order. He could have done that with... He could have
And
done
he
that
got fed
with...
Marco.
Yeah, it didn't have to be Marco. I don't think it helped either one of them, to be honest. I watched them... As soon as I saw it come into the ring, I was like, oh, for Christ's sake. Like, I know what I'm about to watch here. And then you watch it and you're like, okay, but... I don't feel different about either person.
Did, like, a big spot where, like, he almost had him, it'd be different. But no, it was, like, instant.
I've
And
got,
it's...
sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I've got like the newer perspective. Like I didn't grow up watching any of this, so
Yeah.
whatever I see, I'm like really trying to believe, you know, what I'm watching. And with that one, with that character, I can't. I try, and I'm like, dude, come on, man, like give me something else, like.
Yeah. I don't think they're using him right. I think you could use him in a lot of ways that would make sense, and I don't think they've gotten close to it.
That's fair.
But with that in mind, if he's friends with everybody and he's a cool guy and he's a good singer, I mean, I feel like we could do something with him. We're gonna make something work. But does he need to be in the ring with Lance Archer? No.
No.
No, we can stop
Not at
that.
all.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I don't even understand how that happens, but like that's what I mean, like where the boys are working everything on their own. I don't understand how that match shows up on a piece of paper, gets slid in front of Cody, and he goes, "Yeah, let's do that."
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I swear to you, if I saw that, I'd have been like, "No, take this back. Take this back and find literally anybody else."
I feel like he's the
Like,
size
who the fuck did this?
Yeah.
I feel like he's the size of Nicholas, honestly. Like, I could see him in the cage with Nicholas.
Dude, Marco Stunt versus Nicholas for the tag team titles.
No. Nicholas has grown in 2 years.
That's true.
Fuck.
That kid was terrified.
Yeah, it's a technical foul.
Yeah, technical foul. All right, NXT. We'll get through that and talk about In Your House. Kevlar's starting to get pretty drunk. He needs something to talk about.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep drinking away.
Yeah, he's like pouring into the glass, like as it's pouring in. I guess two big things happened on NXT before In Your House that were super of note. One of those was Breezango's return.
Yes.
I know what people love them, dude, but I hate their gimmick, man. I think once they're in the ring, I'm fine. But everything it takes them to get into the ring, I don't like at all.
Oh, yeah, you hate it.
Their whole, like, stripper motif.
Yeah, as a woman, I'm kind of like, really? Okay, what year is this?
She thought she reacted to Breezango
And
the
their
way we
response
reacted to
is
Valvinus.
1969, and then
Yeah.
yes.
Say that because I don't know who done.
The way that she reacted to Breezango the first time she saw them was the way that we as kids reacted to Valvinus. Like that's
She's
how it's
taking
coming
her
off now.
clothes off and interact or doing the same
What kid
thing.
were you? Jesus.
Yeah.
That slight smirk, it bleeds me to believe that you had that CD download when it came out, huh?
He was a very mature 9-year-old. Everyone said so.
Hey,
He was
every
the
time
9-year-old that had to use the bathroom quite often when he watched Raw.
Yeah.
All of his teachers said he was very mature.
He was great. He kept going around telling everyone to suck it, and then now he's a sex offender. So like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you think you know some people?
You know. But it was cool to see them back. I'm glad they're together because they like to work. Here's the one thing that caught me off guard, though. They said that Fandango opted for physical therapy instead of surgery to get back in the ring faster. That made me a little bit nervous just because I thought, dude, you're in such the position right now where you can take the surgery. You're not going to Mania this year. You know what I mean? And that's fine. You know, you went back to NXT to help those kids and to be a presence there, maybe to live in Florida. Maybe this is your retirement plan is to go to NXT. You could do a lot of that while rehabbing surgery for longer. Tyler Breeze didn't need Fandango to get on the TV. He still had singles matches that people love. So I felt like
people are still they'll love that Zoolander gimmick he does no matter what, because we know Tyler Breeze can pull out some fucking nutty matches. Yeah. And he's incredibly talented. Not disregarding Fandango for his for his gimmick, but like you said, neither of them kind of needed each other, but it's just what's easiest to get other people over, I assume, honestly.
Yeah, and it's great to see them together and working together, and all of that's good. I just wonder if, like, if you don't take the surgery in this situation, when do you take the surgery? You know what I mean? Because they didn't say that if he took the surgery, he couldn't come back. They said it would take longer to come back. It's like,
What injury was it?
I don't even know. I'll have to look into that. But that's just what they said on commentary. He opted for physical therapy so he could get back into the ring sooner than he would have if he had taken the surgery. And they're like that's
well, I'm just wondering if it's like one of those 1.5 you're on the shelf things, and he thinks his career, if he sat out for 1.5 would be gone.
But where is it now? And I don't mean that in a dickish way. You're just another person on NXT. You're not on top of the card on NXT. You're not going to takeovers. You're just a guy on the TVs.
A lot of those guys, they get hungry for the money.
Yeah, I guess.
And a lot of those, like, you got to understand from that perspective. When you're making 6 figures and you maybe drop down to 5, you get close to 4. Gotta do something here.
You start freaking out.
You have to. You acquire an expensive taste once you get a taste of the limelight, man. For a while, Breezango was over. They were over as shit with that gimmick. And then 2015, 2016, 2017, oh no, where'd they go? Now Tyler Breeze is doing his own thing. Oh no, where'd Tyler Breeze go? Now we're in 2020 where, whoa, hey, they just came back. Tyler Breeze runs a wrestling school too. with
Sean
with
Spears, that piece of shit.
Yes.
Marsha's favorite.
He's the one person we have heat with on this show.
Definitely.
A lot of heat.
Why?
He's the one person we will openly shit on every week. Fuck Sean Spears. And his stupid little glove. What the fuck was that? We didn't even talk about that. His stupid little glove Tully gave him. Fuck off with that. He thinks he's the Monday Night Messiah, but he's not. He's just got this stupid little fuck.
Okay,
Piece of
you
shit.
got one.
You have to
Marsha.
explain why you can't just.
I've met him like 3 times, and he was an asshole every time. And so full of himself. And I was really, like, blown away by it because one of those was distinctly a meet and greet that people paid to see him.
Yeah.
Actually, well, hold on. 4 times. I saw him asshole every time. 2 times was at meet and greets. And one of them, he was at a table where you just walked up to pay him or whatnot. And as I walked over towards him, because it was like the second time, I was like, yeah, maybe he's not going to be a dick. As I walked over, he's like on his phone, kind of looks over his little bit and looks right back down. And I was all like, are you not trying to make money here? Like, what the fuck is this? Like,
I have money. Like, yo.
yeah.
Presentation is incredibly important when you're a wrestler. So I divide my character.
Yeah.
Because in the ring, I am the absolute most annoying thing you will ever come across. At the merch table, I'm very friendly and open because I realize that that's my money. I want to go. I can, it's a little taboo to do this to kind of like separate your character.
Yeah.
Which I understand. I'm a heel, but like at the same time, at the end of the day, we're a business. I'm a businessman, and I'm not going to get over by acting the way I do with my character in the same way as I would at the merch table, where I'm being loud and obnoxious toward my friends around me who are also trying to do that. You know, like. It's stupid that way, you know. Like you can stay in character, and that's why I have like a little promotional flyer, like, oh, I'll take a 30 or a 60-second video with you if you buy something for me, and I'll yell at whoever you want.
Yeah,
like that's different. Like that's me upselling myself.
Somebody walking towards your table is your money to charm out of them. Yeah. They're looking to get worked. That's the con, right? To get people to give you their money for nothing. So that's and so for you to be a dick then, it was like, fuck you, dude. Like, I saw him do it in Tucson. I saw him do it in Vegas. He did it at the Royal Rumble. He was just a total asshole every time.
Did Cactus League book him?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, Cactus League brought him in the same time they brought in Tessa.
Yeah.
And I went down there to see Tessa because I already knew that Sean Spears is a piece of shit.
Yeah, so Harmless Demon, that's definitely not jealousy. It's kind of just like common courtesy.
It's personal beef.
Yeah.
Like, he's a douche.
So it's not like we were attacking him in an airport. We weren't those kind of crazy fans.
No, you paid your hard-earned money to go see him, and he didn't provide good customer service, or he didn't provide good fucking. He was an asshole about it. Like that's the difference.
Or even a common courtesy.
Yeah, even in passing, like when we were at Rumble.
Yeah, so at Rumble we bought the Royal Package. We spent literally the most amount of money you can spend to go to a WWE event by WWE. So one of the things that they do for you, because I sold stock, but I did it. So one of the things they do is they will put you in the same hotel as their talent. So you might bump into their talent, and then it's part of the experience. One of the people we bumped into, Drake Maverick. Run into him on the elevator, and I went, oh, hey. Also, small, but believable. He had his headphones in, and I said something, and then he just kind of kept looking straight, and I was like, I'm bothering him or something. He went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did you say something to me? And I was like, oh, I just said hi or something. Like, I don't remember what it was. And he goes, I was just listening to the Bruce Pritchard podcast. And I was like, the new one? He goes, yeah. And I was like, about Sid. He goes, it's crazy. And I was like, it's absolutely insane. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he was always immersing himself with more and more wrestling knowledge, and it was really cool. And so we had a chat on the elevator with Drake about podcasts for a minute. But when I first get off the elevator, I've got literally a bird cage in one hand because I bring my squirrel with me everywhere.
Sugar glider.
He's my squirrel, and he's amazing.
Yeah.
So we took him.
Snack food.
Hey! No. So I have literally a giant bird cage in one hand and like 2 bags in the other hand and something under my arm. And I'm just like getting off the elevator. Like, okay. As I get off the elevator, he's coming right towards the elevator. And I look up. Mind you, he hasn't been on TV in like 9 months, this guy.
Yeah.
I look up and went, oh shit, hey. And he just went, oh God. And then just turned over and got into the elevator. And I was like, weird. I was like, no one else knows who you are, fuck. Like,
We would have been happy with a head nod.
yeah, what'd you think? I had a whole bunch of shit where I'm like, stop, you gotta sign my birdcage.
Yeah, like,
Fuck. Yeah, and he was the
Signed a
first.
shit liner.
Yeah, he was the first guy I saw who was a talent, and it was the first time it hit me. I didn't know I was in the same hotel as talent. As soon as I saw it, that's when I went, oh shit, there's talent here, and I was like, oh hey, and he just went, oh my god, and like rolled his eyes and got on the elevator, and then he's like pushing the button, and I was like, I'm not jumping back in, like, relax. But it was crazy.
Meanwhile, Mojo, coolest dude ever.
Oh yeah, Mojo was really funny.
hell yeah.
He walked by, and I was all like, God damn, he's jacked. Because this is like when he hadn't been on TV in a while, and then he came back, and he was just big. And I was like, God damn, he's jacked. And I kind of like look away and do something, and then I hear producer giggling. I look over, she's talking to Mojo. And I was like, what the fuck? And
What just happened here?
Yeah, what has happened? So tell him what happened.
So I was just, I just said, oh, yeah, I was like, I just started laughing, and he comes over, and he's like, what, what's so funny? And I was just like, oh man, my man is just, he's like drooling over you. He's like, man, look at him, he's so jacked, and he just starts busting up dying.
Yeah.
And that's when he comes over.
Yeah, I was like, huh, what? Hey, I was like, what's going on over here? And he's like, hey, man, how you doing? And I was all like, what's up, dude? He's like, you guys gonna have a good weekend? I was like, we're so psyched. He's like, enjoy yourself, guys. And then like he walked off. Dude, that was more time than he had to give us.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm pretty sure you were like, oh man, you look so good, dude.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you're looking awesome. Are you gonna be there? Are you gonna be in it? He goes, oh, you never know. Like,
Are you gonna totally let me see you after the show? Like, have your number? Like,
yeah, let's chill, dude.
No, but he was
wanna get
cool.
jacked together, bro?
375.
Yeah.
I'm like, we didn't get anything signed, and that's totally cool. But it's just kind of
Yeah.
like common courtesy is.
Yeah, they put you in the hotel for a reason, but then you see all these other assholes who literally stand around with merch, and you go, okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. They're concerned. They don't know who the fuck you are. They don't know which one you are.
Yeah.
But realistically, a head nod goes a long way with a lot of these guys. You know what I mean? Like, just hanging out and just, oh, hey. And they go, oh, hey.
Like, even if someone doesn't buy my merch, like, I experienced this on my last indie show. I sold, like, 5 T-shirts, roughly. Like, 5 T-shirts and, like, a handful of stickers. But, like, people came over to the table, and I was like, hey, how are you guys doing today? What's up? How are you? Give me a high five. And, like, their kids high-fiving or something like that. And I'll just, like, interact with them, let them know, like, we're fucking human.
Yeah.
And, like, even if they didn't get anything, I'm like, here, have some, like, free stickers for your kids. Like, have a great rest of your night. Like, you're leaving an impression. You're leaving an impression on the generations to come and the people around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
like,
if they come back or not, it's not
to-
based on if they're going to buy your T-shirt now. It's not if they're going to buy your T-shirt next time. That's when they'll come
Yeah.
back.
Then they'll see on the show, like, oh my god, this guy gave my kid a free... Let's go say hi to him again.
Yeah.
We'll get some more free shares. Like, it's not likely to happen, but it's more than likely that person should be just as nice to you.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's where the heat comes from.
Yeah, that's where... Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah.
I can't say that personally because I might end up fucking... I don't know when I'll end up with half these people someday, but I can definitely say fuck that guy just for that reason. That's so dick.
And then one
You're
day,
leaving a
I'll run
bad
into
impression
him.
in other people's mouths.
One of these clips will go viral one day. I'll run into him. He'll bitch slap me, and I'll be like, you're right, man. No, you're right. You kicked the shit out of me. No, that's true.
Still a dick.
I wouldn't even be able to defend myself.
You'll be on the floor, and then you'll be like, asshole!
Yeah. Knew it.
I'm gonna go over you and be like, 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Shoulder up. Fuck, you were 2 seconds late, buddy.
Yeah. Gotta get feet on the ground, man. This is the last man standing.
Come on. Ah, you fucking suck.
But if I stand, he'll come back.
Yeah, so even more reason why we love Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
We got a little story with him, and we're like, damn, that dude's cool, man.
Yeah. If we didn't like him already, but that was the big news on Dynamite. Nope. What is their show called? What's NXT called?
Already, wow.
Who knows? It was explosive.
Fancy's like, oh my god, I'm not on this show.
That was big news on NXT. Was Drake Maverick went all the way to the finals? Kevlar. He lost the match. El Hijo becomes the champion to absolutely no fanfare, even with paid fans. Even the talent was just all like, "Oh no!" And you're like, "He's a face. You guys are supposed to like. You guys shit on his moment." But then the company equally shit on his moment. So like, Eho, gotta get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We're doing stuff with Drake. Get out. So he gets pushed out.
Okay, congratulations, Zach. Go away.
Yeah. Go. Yeah, hold it up. Go. Hold it up. Hold it up. Go.
Go take your
I'm gonna grab some water really quick. I'll be right back.
Grab it. So they take him to the finals. He does not win. He loses the match. He's in the ring. He's like sad. They get close-ups, and he's like, talking to the camera, never give up. Hope is still a beautiful thing, and all that stuff. As he walks out of the ring and he's walking up the ramp, he's standing there looking at the ring one last time, it looks like, and Triple H comes up behind him, puts his arm around Drake, who looks up at him, and he's like, his face is like breaking. He's starting to cry. And Triple H reaches from around his back and pulls out an NXT binder and opens it up, and it's a contract in there. And they flip back to like 9 pages in, and he hands him a pen to sign it. It looked like a legit contract. And you could even see Drake go, no. Like, he couldn't believe it. It looked like.
Yeah.
And that's just it, is right now, I'm curious. We'll get Manzi's word when he comes back. Do you think this was the plan all along? Do you think this truly was a work of using people being laid off? Or do you think that there was a portion somewhere in there that Drake didn't know, but maybe other people knew?
I think, well, since both of them are frozen,
Yeah.
I'll join in. I think that it's possible something has changed. With the finances, maybe, with shows starting to get audiences, maybe something changed and they were able to get someone back before they actually let him go.
Maybe. What do you think, Kev?
Possible.
Yeah, probably the same. I think that, there's a lot of times where people get released and, they come back, shortly afterwards anyways. But I think with him, they probably saw the, momentum he gained and all the fans behind him and stuff like that. And they're thought to themselves, hey, this would be stupid if we let him go.
Yeah. That's really what my gut says. And I listen to the Sam Roberts podcast, and I suggest other people do as well. I think he's got a really great ear and mind about it all, and he always really takes the stand of a fan and not of that of an insider or anything like that. But he talked about it, and to sum up what he said is he thinks it was a work basically from the beginning. He thinks it was the plan from the get-go. My gut tells me I think that Maverick did that phone promo after he got fired. I think that he did in that conversation with them. This is my gut. I feel that he got them to approve him being in that round robin tournament, but I don't think he knew any more than that. And I think that they probably said, we can let you do that. It'll be your last 3 matches. We'll make sure you've got great opponents and you have great matches on the way out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like somewhere along there, it was undeniable. And I think that they decided they were going to sign him back on because, things change. And like you said, it'd be crazy not to. He's got so much backing behind him that I feel that changed and he wasn't let in. You know what I mean? That he didn't know. I feel like that he thought that was his last night. You're going to go out there, you're going to lose. It'll be your last night, but it'll be a great moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, go ahead.
What was it?
He already had shirts out for, non-WWE. I'm pretty sure I saw, a Spud 24/7. He had stuff that made people think, oh, he's going to WWE. He's hanging out with EC3. Something's going to happen.
He put out stuff on PWTs that was not WWE related at all.
Oh, Nancy's on his way back.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay.
Well, I think the biggest tell that it probably wasn't a work is if it wasn't work, you give him the belt.
Yeah, if it was, because then why not?
Yeah, if it was.
Yeah, because at that point you're gonna win and you're gonna keep your job because you won. And this is one where it feels like they told him, "We can't let you in, man."
Yeah.
But then they bring out the contract and they're like, "Fuck, we were just psyching you out, man. Just kidding. Here's your contract." And really make him feel that. Let them live in that. And I don't know. That was the impression I got out of it.
Really happy he's still got a job.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And the fans are so behind him right now. It's absolutely insane. Let's see. What? I'm back trying to find out how to join back. I'm trying to call.
Oh. Yeah, answer his call, Nancy.
Yeah, just answer the phone.
Thanks for bearing with us, guys
Yeah.
and gals.
A little technical difficulty.
Where every show's like our first show. That's how you know you've never missed a thing.
And where are the drunk ones here?
See, that needs to be the new T-shirt. Where every show is our first.
Oh, I was like, where are the drunk ones here?
Yeah, we're the drunk ones.
Yeah, that too.
What's going on? It says it's ringing now. It says he wasn't getting it. Not connected. Ringing. Did you check out the new Pointless Aggression shirts? I really like them. Dude, am I gonna just have to add him?
I don't know. It's not coming up.
I'm gonna see if this works.
Alright, we're gonna get this.
It is cutting out so fast. It's going from ringing to not connected. Like,
That's weird.
just saying no fucking way.
Weird.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta step out as well.
Okay.
Our show is falling apart.
Well, maybe Kevlar needs to hang up too. Let me just get him
Oh
on.
my god.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
He's definitely not going to mute the thing. We're going to hear him pee.
Okay. We'll make sure we're over there. Okay.
Alright, I don't know who he's talking to, but
Yeah.
maybe we should just hang up with both of them and then.
Oh, good Lord.
What is happening? Alright, well, that was
All right.
interesting. Okay, so let's. We're gonna get this, guys.
This is good. This is going well. He's like, I'm trying.
Is it ringing for anyone? I can't see.
Because you can try and call again. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, yeah, someone.
How did Kev come back before Manzi?
Don't know. It's
I
not
hung
even
up
at
on him.
home.
I know. That's what I mean. I like blatantly hung up on him and he's not even in there.
Huh.
Come on. The show's much better with more people.
Yeah. Yeah. We're trying to get Manzi back. It's so weird it's not coming up for him. Harmless demon. Come on, IT
I
man.
know. Damn it.
We don't all have the same IT man.
Yeah. Hey, Manzi, try to call me. See if you can go back to the previous call and just call me.
Tell me. What the hell, Captain?
Oh, my
Did I
God.
miss anything?
No, I hung up on you, and then I called back, and it picked up while you were away, so that was cool.
Still making.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I was in the other room.
That's weird.
He's trying to call through the group. I know you were in the other room. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was weird.
Nobody answers it. Oh, my God. All right, I'm going to try this again.
Here we go. Here we go. Hello? Got him, got him.
There's, I see this. I got this number. That's why I was like, I don't see anything for the group.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if we can add Kevlar now.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
What?
Kevlar was the one I was trying to originally call.
Oh, is he the one you're calling? Hey! Cheers!
Woohoo!
Look at us. Although Kevlar's phone answered in his absence before, he could have gotten fed up and went to bed. And his phone just was left pointed towards the couch.
Sorry, random AEW news was Alan Angels, aka5, has joined Dark Order.
Alan Angels, also known as 5, joined Dark Order?
Yeah.
Oh, he was the...
right?
Huh?
From 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That posted like an hour ago.
So he's part of the Dark Order, which is great. They're holding on so tightly to that dead thing.
Yeah, Brody Lee posted that an hour ago, so.
Oh, good. Brody Lee's Twitter's the most riveting.
I'm just letting you know.
You know what that means.
Mandy
You know-
hates you so much.
Yeah, you know what that means. Mandy's like, you said before we went online that you're positive. You lying prick.
You gonna tell me you're lying to me, bro?
Yeah. So, Mandy, what's your take on Drake Maverick?
It's one of those stories where you're not really sure what to think about it, but it crosses the line between realism and it's like a fine line, I believe, honestly. I like him a lot, and I think he's a very talented worker, but I hate the storyline he got put in, where, like, he literally had everything ripped from him,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just offered him a contract, and it's just like, why do you fuck with some emotions like that?
Do you think it was all a work, or do you think there was a bridge somewhere within?
There was a bridge. I feel like if it wasn't work, then it's completely insulted our intelligence as fans, and where people actually offered him things and offered him opportunities and places to work.
Yeah.
It's as funny it is for me to say, it's a scumbag thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think, though, that... I mean, you can't argue with results. Like, that was incredible TV. It's such a great moment. But you also go, I don't know. My gut wants to tell me that it was that they were working Drake more than they were working us, and that Drake was really pushed through those emotions and got to live through all those and feel those, and we got to watch. But
Yeah.
I don't know. The idea of whether or not Drake was in on it, I don't know. My gut just tells me he wasn't in on all of it.
No, yeah.
What do you guys think of In Your House? The return of In Your House, which started 25 years ago but ended 20 years ago. So it was only around for 5 years. And we remember it like it was forever.
Yeah, because of the landmark it kind of put.
Yeah.
It was so different.
What do you think
So
about the
happy.
show? What?
Good.
You said you're so happy for EO?
No, I said I'm so happy that they brought it back. I absolutely love the idea of it.
Yeah, I loved the set. I loved Todd Pettingale. So good. As soon as I saw Todd Pettingale, I'm like, ah!
Now, you were freaking out on the set.
Yeah, and then they brought the set
The
back.
set was so good.
So good. Kev, what'd you think of In Your House?
Just at the beginning, I liked it. It was same as everyone else. Pettingale's set was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I love
I
the
loved how
aesthetic.
they used the WWE New Era logo.
Yes, I know. That yellow logo.
They used it?
Yeah, in the design of In Your House.
That's funny. That's awesome. No, so good. So good.
Good show all around.
It was pretty solid. Any particular highlights? Anything that you couldn't believe?
The breaking of plexiglass.
That was pretty cool. He went through the plexiglass.
I was like, wow, that bump was been rough. There's no giving that shit.
That was gimmicked.
No. You can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah. There's no way. Keith Lee's the strongest man in the world. There's just no way.
Fuck you. I love you.
I let's see. The 6 Women was actually really good, I thought. And I was even thinking that with
landing
the what?
on who got the moonsault, the knee to the face for that
Rhea.
fucking Big Four.
In the 6 Women? Someone took a knee to the face?
Yeah, the moonsault spot for the finish of the match.
No, that was the triple threat.
That was triple threat, I
Sorry,
thought.
yeah, sorry.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
mixed up.
No, I actually thought that the sixth woman was really good for Shotzi because I felt like out of everyone in there, she seemed the most green and she seemed like the most who needed work. She's been making a lot of weird, like, little botches here and there, and I thought, how great is it going to be for her to be in ring with that group of people to lift them all together? I thought they all did an awesome job doing that, and I was really excited for Shotzi to be in that spot.
Yeah, Shotzi is a fantastic person. Really great worker. The only problem I have with that match is there's a very noticeable botch on the second dive. Whoever did the second dive, so Shotzi did her dive, right?
Yeah, and then
I think
Tegan.
Mia again. They're all on the outside, getting set up for it, and then Mia hesitated, then went.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, oh, you guys ready?
Yeah. guys.
Hey, watch.
Yeah. Let's see. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest was much better than I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be pretty good. You know?
Damian Priest is coming around big.
Yeah. I love that he uses the Razor's Edge, man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. We've talked about that before, Kev. You and me said, like, why is nobody using it? It's so good. What was your guys' favorite match of the night?
Adam Cole and Velvet Dream.
Oh, I hated that match.
Explain yourself.
The only reason I like it is because it added a certain dynamic of it,
Yeah.
and I just really like Velvet Dream for it. There's no defending like the actual match itself.
Yeah.
And more or less like people in the match.
I gotcha. What do you think they're going to do with Velveteen Dream moving forward?
Huh?
What do you think they're going to do with the Dream moving forward?
Hopefully either main roster give him a break.
He just came back from a break, man.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was out for weeks. Months even. I think he was out a couple months, 2 or 3 months.
Like months.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like this was one of the... I think the heart of my problem with this match is that these two people did not come across to me like street fighters.
No, they're technical wrestlers, and that's what I'll like things that most people won't, and I'll try to see the better side of it.
Yeah.
And with this match, it was so hard to find the better side of it.
Yeah?
Other than spot, wrestling, spot.
Yeah.
That was it.
I gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So I know some people I know were really raving, oh, it's another cinematic masterpiece, this and that. And I was like, I'm also getting pettily fed up with cosplay. I feel like we're really pushing this. It was kind of cool when wrestlers would do shout outs here and there, like when FTR had Pink and Black when they were in Toronto. Like, oh, they're doing a little Heart Foundation shout out. That's cool. But then now you got, and I was even like going, okay, Tegan Nox is doing Captain Marvel, but then she just made it her solid thing and she always does Captain Marvel. Like, okay, then that's cool. I can live with that. But then you got fucking Gargano coming out like a stormtrooper. You got Dream coming out like a fucking Negan. Like, who else had cosplay in this one? Rhea's always got a cosplay of some kind. Obviously, AEW is constantly doing cosplay.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to a point where I'm all like, just find your identity. Like, if your identity is that you dress up like Marvel people, come on.
I think Rey Mysterio made what that like special things for big pay-per-view.
Yeah, I like it when it's the once in a while things.
Yeah.
But I feel like that to me, it's just getting too cosplay. I guess even realistically, Charlotte did the best version of it of the whole night. She dressed up in the pink or the black and purple with the silver as a Paige thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that looked great. Like, that's exactly the kinds of little nods I like to see because it was Charlotte's gear with Paige's color scheme. Awesome.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
People are actually like trying to copy an attire.
Yeah, but Velveteen Dream comes out in a black leather jacket with a red fucking scarf and a barbed wire bat. You're like, the fuck you've ever come out in a leather jacket with a barbed wire bat? Like, this is a costume. This is Halloween. You're trick-or-treating. This is trunk-or-treating, really. With all the fucking cars lined up. And these two people don't come off as believable scrappers. I think both of them have glass jaws. I think if you were to catch Adam Cole drunk in a bar, anybody could beat him. This is the kind of thing you'd want to see Killian Cross in.
Yeah.
Or Karrion Kross, you know what I mean?
Big brawly motherfucker.
Yeah.
Please, shit.
Yeah, Keith. Can you imagine getting to Keith Lee and Karrion Kross and putting it in that setting? You'd be like, fuck. Yeah. You'd be like, man, someone's going to get thrown right through a car, through the middle. The car's going to split in half. It has to. Like, there's just too much power here. But instead, they put the smallest champion they've ever had with their biggest cosplayer, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't watch this one because I wasn't.
Do you like Dexter Lumis? I think he's really interesting, but I don't know if it's clicked with me yet.
I'm in the same boat as you. It hasn't clicked yet, but I am invested.
Yeah, I'm interested. I don't like they use Stranger Things music.
Oh, yeah. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
Yeah. I was like, I wish you would do that. But you're in it. He's like living it, so I'm all right with it. But it hasn't clicked. I don't see him and go, ooh. I just see him and go, oh, he's back.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that money.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting paid, huh?
You got that $500 check, brother.
Ciampa and Cross. This was kind of a big deal that not a lot of people are talking about. Ciampa put over Cross in 6 minutes. It's the shortest Ciampa match he's ever had in a takeover.
I did see that one part where Cross like threw Ciampa nearly on his neck on the side of the. That was kind of scary.
Yeah, it's
For someone
terrifying.
that had surgery and.
Yeah, he's broke his neck twice. Keep it going.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
He's going for number 3.
Yeah, this guy's like, no, you can break my neck. It breaks and it's fine. Yeah, Ciampa's like, my neck breaks and it's fine every time. Don't worry about it. Just break it. It'll just be fine in a bit.
Edge gets 9 years off. I'll get fucking 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get 3 months and I'll come back bigger. Don't you know? Yeah, just snap it. It's not a big deal. Just snaps like this. Look, I'll show you.
Fucking strap. Like.
Yeah. But I think that they're doing so well with Cross. I think they're booking him so good right now. Even though I'm like, as much as I love his entrance, I don't like the sing-along aspect, but I love the rest.
The weird little balance, yeah.
Yeah, and I was really concerned. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a lot of effort into an entrance. I hope this isn't the Brood. You know? Like, people only talk about the Brood's entrance. No one remembers a shit after that. And I was like, I hope they don't turn this guy into the Brood right now and just invest everything into this. Yeah. Problem is the bell rings. I mean, the great part is that he's incredible in the ring. But you can book him like shit. So I'm just all like, please don't be just an entrance. But I do think it was really cool. Ciampa put him over. 6 minutes. I did see something that made me laugh. But it was a little meme that was like, Ciampa puts over a monster heel in 6 minutes on his first pay-per-view for the win and takes the loss. And then it showed that little weird puppet guy who looks to the side and then looks forward. But it said it was like Cody. Like Cody's like, and then looks away. It made me laugh because the whole Lance Archer deal.
Yeah.
And then it ended with Charlotte, Io, and Rio. And this is the one where Io took someone's eye out?
Jesus Christ.
Meter in the head.
Yeah.
Whew, that looked brutal. I've been hit with some weird kind of like botchy stuff where someone does like a dive and they kind of clip you in the head real quick, or like someone kind of throws you a potato. But that looked like it was pure hell.
Yeah.
Like, you can't prepare for that hit. Because not only am I reaching stuff for the Big Four that's happening in front of me, I'm looking forward to this, supposing the orb will go on here. It's get fucked up.
Yeah. That's gonna give you it's gonna ring your bell there, huh?
It's all the body weight you have.
Yeah. Let me see.
Overall, a great match, though.
I do like the Io one. I liked the way that they squeeze it in the end there with Charlotte, like verbalizing, "Are you kidding me?" Like as she's trying to get out.
Like she's locked in, like doing her own move.
Yeah.
Like she can't just swing away. She can't hit her. She's far away.
Yeah, especially because you got the arch on.
I just thought Charlotte should have fought more to try and get out of it. She was just kind of like, oh no.
Yeah.
Then she's trying to like move her away. Like if you're losing your championship that you hold so highly, well, flail your fucking arms, throw yourself. You obviously don't pick up the pin. Like, put more of an effort into it.
Yeah, or it'd be cool if she was in the arch and then sees that and then like immediately comes down and starts trying to like, punch Rhea's leg. Like,
something like that.
Give up before you
like,
drop. You know what I mean?
You could have maybe like arched yourself more to like pop her hips up, maybe or something like that. So we're like trying to get out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, she could have fought for it more, but there was definitely a part of it that it was her just being like, well, God damn it, like knowing that she couldn't do shit about it. Let's see. J5 says, should Balor be called up again?
No.
I mean, I think anytime he wants to go back, he'd be fine to, but I think he's doing so well there that...
Why fix something that's not broken?
Yeah, he's able to do what he wants. I think he's happier.
Yeah, like, wrestlers deserve to be happy and their creative aspects of their contracts, and then also their personal.
I can see that. I also think that the main roster needs him.
Yeah, I do think the main roster could really use a Balor right now, for sure.
Yeah, I could use who takes fucking 7 minutes on his entrance, pulling his arms in the air. I absolutely can. Yes.
Yeah, he could do that. Yeah, he can do that better than anyone does that.
Randy Orton.
Right now, we have fucking Angel Garza trying to fuck Charlie Caruso in front of his wife and then ripping off his pants in the middle of a match.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love that shit.
You are a heel.
It's the weirdest thing. But every time I see him pull his pants off, I'm just like, oh, you are so cool.
Yeah, come on.
I don't even think they look good. Like, before he even rips them off, they just look like cheesy, like cheap.
They're like green felt or velvet.
I think it's like
Yandy's,
like the stripper site or whatever, the stripper clothes. Like, it looks like the cheapest stuff that you buy.
Yeah. That whole faction is just, I feel like I would call them the fashion explosion. They all dress so hideously.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
fucking Andrade comes out dressed in a giant lobster bib.
It's almost as bad as the bib. I cannot stand the bib.
Yeah. You got
who's dressing these
Angel
guys?
coming out dressed like a 50s pimp. Then you got Zelina coming out like she's some sort of, it's my first day at the Bunny Ranch and just want to look good.
Yeah, no, she's like cosplay with stripper heels.
Yeah. She's like a cosplay Bunny Ranch girl. And you're like, okay, I don't understand the dynamic here. You guys don't match.
Yeah.
But I am excited for Io winning it. I do think that she's gonna be. I'm also just happy to see it off Charlotte. I'm so tired of Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's give or take. I think Charlotte's great. If there's too much of something, we're obviously always get tired. With Charlotte, I can't really get too tired of her because I know there's so much that she can do more of. There's so much that can be done with her. It's just a matter of the book. It's not her. It's the book.
Yeah. Could you try your headphones again?
Yeah.
You're starting to sound a little distant. Or is that not going to work?
Here,
that sounds way better.
Yeah, sorry, because I had you standing like this.
Oh, the mic.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm really excited about Io. I am tired of Charlotte to the point where on Raw, even Charlotte versus Asuka wasn't exciting to me. I just couldn't get into it. I was more excited about the commentary than I was about the match because I'm just like, Charlotte's booking is so obvious, and I'm just not that compelled by it. Because, I mean, part of the thing is disbelief, right? The idea that you can get lost in the idea of a competitive nature here. But with Charlotte, I just don't ever feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I feel it when she's got really big names she's going up against. Not to say Asuka's not big, but to also say that we've seen Asuka and Charlotte so much, you knew something was going to happen. But when, like, Charlotte was going up against Bayley, I was like, well, Bayley's not a pushover. Bayley's not going to go out there and say, you're just going to fuck me up and then be done. Like,
Yeah.
you know? So I thought that she's going to have to give and take a little more. I feel like that watching Charlotte, she will steamroll the people who look up to her. And it takes people with as strong of an ego and clout to be able to say, you won't do that to me. And that's when she has good matches. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because every match she had in NXT I thought was awful except for this one. You know, she was having these matches where she's just steamrolling all the talent, and you're all like, well, why do we have to make Mia Yim and Io look stupid? Like, what does that help?
One of those women that actually was working for over 15 years, struggling, and it finally gets an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck. I'm just looking at. But it is cool to see Io winning, and I was kind of caught by surprise on that one. I'm curious to see how that goes. But it was a cool moment. What do you think about them doing the shit in the ring?
Confetti?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's not a WWE thing. That's a Japan thing.
And even Mark said that.
Yeah, they said it.
What do you say?
He said it feels like we're in Japan right now.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect.
Do you think that has anything to do with the rumors that she was homesick and wanted to not re-sign because her fiance or husband was in Japan? Do you think that has anything to do with that? Hey, when she gets the win, let's do a little homecoming thing.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a bad idea if that's the case. I don't think that's awful. But I was a little caught off guard because they cut away, they do the replay, they come back, and it's just filled. And I was like,
Trash.
we didn't see the thing happen. We didn't see the confetti fall, so you just come back and you're just like, wow, what the fuck happened in here? Like, oh, it's confetti. Oh, like streamers.
The caveman discovering something like this, you're like, oh, where'd it go?
Yeah. But it was cool. She looked really happy. She looked excited. I think she'll be a good champ. I do think she's got probably the best moonsault. Even when you saw it side by side with Charlotte, you're like, yeah, Io's just smoother. She looks like a smooth gymnast. The way that it's just...
It's a whole... When you're in there, it's a dance. And you got someone who can lead like that, it's going to look beautiful. Despite anybody's fuck up if there is any.
And she fucking lands it. Charlotte lands next to her opponent almost every time. Io fucking, I'm going to fall into you. Grit your teeth. Because that's our options. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. And I love that.
Except for Rhea. She kicked Rhea in the head.
Yeah, grit your teeth, bitch. It's coming.
Put her fucking hand up.
Yeah, if that was Charlotte, she wouldn't have gotten anywhere near him, and they both would have been like, go!
But it was weird, too, because I watched the replay, and Rhea's almost sitting up when Io's in the air.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, he popped up and then looked up and just, boom, dead. I was like, oh no.
She's like, I got a minute before that spot.
Hey, what's the next move?
Yeah.
3.
I liked Io jumping off the house.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Although I did call it. As soon as they went to the outside of the ring, I was all like, where's Io? Oh, she's climbing to the top of the house, I bet. She's going to jump right off of it. And then they zoomed out. I was like, there she is. She's on top of the house.
My God, Michael.
Yeah. My God. Do you think she put her hands out like this? Does she usually?
No.
I don't think she does. But Dude Love did when he jumped off his house as a kid. And I thought, there's a possibility, because he went like this and then jumped off in that famous video onto the mattress.
Yeah.
So I was all like, is she a Foley fan? She probably doesn't even know him. She probably does. But what do you guys think of In Your House overall? I thought from an aesthetic standpoint, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was one of the better NXT shows I've seen in a long time. I feel like NXT's done a job of... I feel like they've been over-saturating me with so much wrestling that a lot of times I come out...
Especially.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how many fucking takeovers you're going to do. Yes, you're going to sell out the house because people like it. I love the idea of where we can bring something back to mythology. Like, I get excited when I see, like, oh, Slamboree pop up in a house show.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's cool to me. But, like, now I get, like, a whole In Your House set. I'm seeing old vignettes of things that happened before my time. You know, I'm only 23 years old, so I'm not, you know, I didn't get to experience that stuff. But, like, to know of it and to have seen it and to see it again, a newer perspective, the fact that, like, these guys are, like, taking jabs at little things.
Yeah.
Makes me so fucking happy.
Like the little commercials and shit.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, Triple H and Shawn Michaels doing the computer thing again?
Road Dogg.
Yeah, Road Dogg knocking over the sign and being like, ooh, and just like scooting out.
Like, things like that, we need more of in wrestling to where, like, we can just sit back and go, oh, this is what it used to be. and just smile a little bit because I'm going to say this when the cows come home. There needs to be a little bit more positivity in wrestling right now, man.
Yeah, and I think that. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's just it. Maybe there just needs to be more positivity. I do like when references are made in certain ways.
Yeah.
And I do feel like they did a good job of it this way. Let's present the pay-per-view this way and have all of our references in the presentation, but then the talent and the matches are isolated in their own way as well.
Exactly.
Where I feel like
I'm not looking at the show right now. That's the same thing. It's going to be, this is its own thing. You're going to remember it for this reason. Yeah. Everything has to have a reason inside of wrestling. Anybody who tells you otherwise is stupid.
Yeah, that's why I didn't appreciate all the Rick and Morty masks on that one Dynamite. I remember nothing else about that Dynamite. I do remember Rick and Morty everywhere. Funny. It's not funny.
Funny to me.
And not mentioning the competition's name. All right. Well.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, but I liked the presentation. I liked the old guys doing their old guy stuff. It was really fun. And I do feel that there's so many times that with NXT they oversaturate me with wrestling where it's all like a 45-minute 2 out of 3 falls match with Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano doesn't excite me. And by the end of it, I was over it. I was so over it. But this one, they kept all the matches at a good enough pace and momentum that was at the end of it. You didn't feel like exhausted. You felt like excited. And I was like, they're finding a good balance now where I felt like they were a little oversaturated at times, especially with wrestling being the way that it is right now without much of a crowd. There's accommodations you got to make now. How are you going to present it differently where it doesn't lose the excitement from the crowd?
Felt fun.
Yeah. You got to find your way through, man.
For sure. Anything else where we talk about SmackDown?
Other than the Jeff Hardy stuff I mentioned before, like when I first got on here before the stream started, when you add real life problems into a storyline, it's a little weird.
You had what?
Like that's
real life
problems. I look at it and be like, "God."
No, she couldn't hear what you said. I was telling you that when you add real life problems to a storyline, there's a blurring of reality that may be uncomfortable.
Yeah, like Jeff Hardy's my favorite wrestler. He's someone to look up to as an inspiration, as a performer, and as a person in general, which is not very good. But I love his attitude into wrestling.
Yeah.
One thing I genuinely don't like is they're putting his real life problems into a storyline. Look, back in the day when they did that with Hawks, dude. They put his pill problem out there, they put his drinking problem out there. Obviously, we're in a different time, but fans took it differently. I'm one of those people that's looking at it like, well, this is a little fucked up. This could hurt him. Because the guy's been alright. He has a few DUIs every once in a fucking blue moon he slips up, but it's not to the point where he was in 2011 with Victory Road, where he's coming out all pilled up and fucked up. He's trying. And when you bring someone's past back into reality, you make it to the present audience as we are today, it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, I did think that as much as I don't put him over, but CM Punk I thought put it really well on backstage, where they asked him point blank, how do you feel about this storyline? And he goes, it makes me uncomfortable. And he goes, and it may be Jeff's idea, and he may be completely comfortable with it, and he could have been the one pushing it. And he goes, but he's like, but people's sobriety is fragile. And I thought that was probably the big quote out of it.
That's anything wrestling, man. One big thing, whether you're deathmatch or anything, it's the work.
Yeah.
You don't involve real life people's problems, or you don't put things like that out in the air. And that's when it becomes a shoot fest, and that's when it becomes a dick measuring contest, and that's when drama gets brought into wrestling. And that's why there are channels like, that commentate on that stuff, and they thrive off the media in wrestling, the politics in wrestling. And I've learned over time that it's never going to go away, but you can separate yourself from it, and you can look at yourself in a better perspective.
But they used Lita to separate Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Oh, of course.
And that was way worse.
Exploit things.
Yeah.
You're talking to the company that literally was sexist up until the point of fucking 2010, if not later.
They may have been a stripper factory. That's possible.
Yeah.
A lot of Playboys that were made.
Yeah. Kevlar's all like, if it weren't for Playboy, there wouldn't be a WWE.
He's the Mid-South of this conversation.
I do think this about the storyline. As much as I'm pretty uncomfortable with it, I do think that the story here is that Jeff is sober and he's being framed, and some evil person is manipulating his past to get into either his mind or to get a business or to do something, wrestling related. And I do think it's being presented as a bad thing. So I do think that there's a fairness in that he's not being presented like Scott Hall was, or like Hawk was, or even Jake Roberts, where here's somebody who's relapsing when there's really not.
I think it's just us fans having like that open wound still.
Yeah.
Like, think they're gonna pour salt on it, and you're like, guys, don't do this, please don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't take this route. We know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Once they kind of get around that scary turn, and then you start seeing it go the right way, you get that sense of relief. Once you see that, you see what the fuck is happening. You're like, oh my god, don't do this to the guy. Like, he's so talented. He's so this.
Yeah.
And you get scared. You get worried for them.
Yeah, 100%. I'm nervous about it too.
We have our real problems in life. Like, there's a reason I'm not in Tucson.
Yeah.
That's a real life thing. That's a real life shit that happens. And whether people exploit it or not about someone else's life that makes them a shit person.
Yeah.
And that's where we get scared. We don't want that for everybody.
Yeah. I do think that in every way they've always used addiction and stuff, this is a 180 from it. Where here's somebody who is being framed because they are sober and not falling into the shit. So hopefully there'll be strength in that, and hopefully he'll find... I mean, maybe even the opposite. Maybe where the others found, like, the relapse in the storyline because, well, fuck it, I am this piece of shit. Maybe he'll be able to feed off this and be like, no, look it. I'm able to stand up and show what it means to stay sober, and maybe he can feed off of it.
Prove to you people.
Yeah, and maybe it'll be a driving force for him that could be a positive thing. But with the idea of sobriety being so fragile, you just think that maybe you don't even have to go that route. Maybe you don't have to teeter on that edge, and maybe you don't have to figure that out. Maybe you could just go a different route.
Maybe they're exploring this idea and seeing, like, okay, is this going to go well? What can we build off of this? Next week, it could be different. We could have a total kibosh story.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best thing about wrestling, man. We know what's going to happen.
It's true.
Edge tweeted 4 minutes ago. I just sang the greatest bedtime lullaby ever to Ruby. Seriously on point for Backlash Sunday.
That's funny.
Sorry.
Kev, you saw SmackDown?
Yes.
What'd you think of it overall?
It was all right. I mean, I was really confused about the main event.
The tag titles?
Yeah.
What was confusing about it? The right ones won.
See, and I think they don't. Because I think you have a wedge between Bayley and Sasha, where Sasha's not a champion, and it just seems like, they do almost need to put a title on her to make her relevant.
But now you have a different kind of wedge you can push. Yeah. Plus, you have no fans there. So, with no fans being there, except for paid fans, this is a great way to solidify and carry through with the Sasha Bayley story, with still having this Bayley getting the highlight because she's Bayley Dose Straps, as she's calling herself. But you have Sasha, who's still on the sideline, as just this tag title holder. You know what I mean? Like,
she doesn't look happy, by the way.
She doesn't look thrilled about it. So the wedge is there, and you could carry this storyline of them as defending champions all the way till fans come back, and then that's when you bite on it. You have Sasha cost Bayley either the SmackDown or cost them both, and now you have two people with no titles, and Bayley can say, I had it all, and you can't get your shit together. And now you can have a whole thing where you have a grudge match that means something. Maybe the title gets put on the line somehow.
It has to mean something.
Yeah. Exactly. I had it all, and then you got rid of all of it, and then maybe Sasha beats whoever took it off of Bayley. Like, maybe you don't even have that match to get the title off of Bayley. You have someone else take it, like a Lacey or something. And then you have Sasha just steamroll Lacey and take the title and be like, oh, I'm the SmackDown title champ. And then you have Bayley being like, you fucking cost me that title. And then you snaked it off that bitch who took it. And now you're just going to prance around like it's yours? And you can have a whole other thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. I said exactly. Like, I'm 100% agreeing with you. in the aspect of that, it would be a great storytelling. But that can be a 180 sometimes. You know, sometimes people don't get that.
Yeah. And I'm all for long-term booking with Bailey. That's all I do is think about long-term booking for Bailey.
I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
But see, my whole thing...
Then my mic gets cut.
Yeah. But see, my whole thing with it is I don't like that the women's tag team is always involved in the women's title. Whether it was with Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors, they always, intertwine them so much.
It does happen a lot. I do think in this case, it's an elevation and not a de-escalation. Like, I felt like with Kabuki Warriors, they got sidelined. And I feel like with this one, it solidifies the partnership and friendship of Sasha and Bailey, where they've been kind of teetering on this, will they, won't they, and this driving a wedge between Sasha and Bailey, and then it becomes a real, like, well, why doesn't Bailey and Sasha just go at it? Like, why doesn't Sasha just kick the shit out of her?
Yeah.
Now there's, like, a reason for them to not, and a reason for them to prance around, and I think that'll give the titles more, I think it'll actually get more screen time. Not that they got not much screen time with Alexa and Nikki, but you put that shit on the Iconics, and they're ghost, man. They're done. They're not coming back for 4 months.
Well, we already did that. But my thing is that they teased Sasha and Bailey for like 4 or 5 years now. And, they're going to turn on each other. Nope, they're not. They're best friends. We talked about it last week.
That's also one of those things that's been, like, watered down for a little bit. If we're going to have this tag team, have it for a while to where fans can forget about that.
Yes.
Where it's so far in the past that we don't really, like, oh, wow, this has happened in, like, 3-4 years. Like, stop doing it every other fucking year because it's lost the meaning of it.
I think with the up and down, that's why you need to bring it up. And I think that's why you do something where now Bailey's at the point where she's got it all. Bailey's got it all. What's she going to do next? Take the NXT Women's title too? Maybe, right? But then you have Sasha be the cost of it all, and now you've bring the stakes up again. Because, they've gone back and forth too much. Like, fuck, man, how much do we love when Bailey socked Sasha and was like, you ain't shit? And the crowd blew up to, like, it's fucking happening!
Yeah, like, she's finally done with this. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. But now, because it's gone up and down so much, and they've been even teasing it for as long as they have this go around, I think you throw in those titles because now you can elevate that excitement again. And like you said, forget about the turn and just lean into but they're tag champions, and they're great tag champions, and they can bring legitimacy. Like, they'll put on great matches with every woman's tag. Like, they're going to do so much that'll get people excited about them being champions, that as they lose it, people are going to have feelings for that. Not for the other people winning, but for these people losing.
Exactly.
What's making is I think they'll rush it. Because I could easily see them losing the tag titles at Backlash.
No way, dude. They can't rush it. They can't lose it now until the fans are back. That's
No, that'd be dumb to do that.
No, that's what they need to do. But what I'm saying is, how many times have we seen something like, they need to do this, and they don't?
You heard it here first. They ain't losing until the fans are back. I mean, I get nervous about that too, especially because, and they didn't even talk about it, but the Iconics saying, we took the titles off you before. I'm like, why don't they bring up the fact that it was like a 4 tag team fucking match, a fatal 4-way, and I don't remember if Bailey and Sasha may have been pinned or not. I don't know, but you had fucking 8 people in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a 2-on-2, so it's like, was it truly, is it as credible a win? The argument could be made, and so the story could be had. But they didn't even go that route. And here's another one where you have 3 teams in there. Well, fuck. Now you have another chance to have Bailey and Sasha lose the title without losing the title on a typical match. Like, yeah. I mean, it was the whole reason I thought they put Charlotte in the triple threat, so she could lose the title.
I mean, she's not going to go in there and just fucking take away the opportunity from that. She could have, but good on her for doing that.
Yeah.
Make sure it look great at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, but I do think that, they could potentially put them on the Iconics, and I'll be very upset if they do that. But if they do that, I'm going to try and sell that card again.
Sure.
Yeah. I got a dual signature tops 1 out of 10 gold edition from the Undisputed of last year, and I've had a hard time selling it, which is weird. The other thing that's upsetting about it is I saw cards with less rarity sell for more at the same time. I was like, what the fuck, man. For $100 less, you could get mine, which is 10 times rarer. I saw like a 1 in 50 go for twice what I was asking for this one. And I was like, this is a 1 in 10. Sorry.
There's literally 9 of these ones.
Yeah, there's only 9 other ones. Sorry. See, the thing that sets us apart from everyone else on these shows is pointless aggression. I'm selling shirts today, Manzi.
Hell yeah, man. I'm all about it.
I thought Lacey and Sonya did actually a really good job together.
Yeah.
I thought, the Daniel Bryan promo. Fuck, dude. That Daniel Bryan promo is the exact promo that Seth Rollins couldn't get out of his throat for a year.
Fuck, that's a jaded statement. That's a truthful one, but damn. That's digging deep right there. You're not wrong.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, he just said everything that Seth Rollins said his entire babyface run, but he did it better. And he did it right, and he made me feel. And Seth did it flat.
That is the difference between the two right there.
Yes.
Like, that is why Daniel Bryan, as a top guy, in my mind, is more believable than Seth Rollins.
That is why
Like,
Daniel Bryan can...
He can sell me. He can sell holy to a temple.
Yeah.
He could sell water to a fucking drought. Like, he can do damn near everything on that microphone and back it up.
A drought would need water.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody. You're drunk. You're not gonna understand this later.
Yeah. You're talking out of your ass, dude.
Water to a thunderstorm, maybe? Like, is that where you're going?
Water to a toilet bowl?
My intelligence.
Yeah.
There's not much left, honey, but there's plenty somewhere.
Yeah. He could sell sawdust to a compost bale. Because he's, earth friendly.
You can't be the sober one here.
Yeah.
I
No
can
one's
sell
buying.
domestic violence to Alabama.
But yeah, Daniel Bryan he's ours, right? He's the one the fans have latched onto. He's one of us. And the whole time that Seth was a babyface, what did I keep saying? Why am I not behind this guy? He should be us. He is one of us. He grew up loving this shit. There's photos and videos of him wrestling the wrestling buddies and dressing up like Hogan and Warrior. Like, it's all there. He's one of us who did it. And he's not speaking for us. I was like, what the fuck is that? How has he failed at connecting with the fans as one of us when he clearly is one of us? But then he turns heel and you go, oh, this guy's magic. This guy's magic. And you go, oh shit, yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy who should be doing everything. And then he just can't get the face thing down. You watch Daniel Bryan, and as a heel, you're like, fuck that guy. There's no fucking way. Oh, the whole thing he did with Kofi was brilliant. You don't deserve this. All of that. Incredible. But then just a couple months later, he just comes back and goes, you know what? I've thought about it. I'm going to do yes again. I'm just going to start doing yes again. And everyone just went, whoa! And they fucking ate it up. Like, he does it right.
I love the eco-friendly belt he had.
I love it.
Ate me.
Yeah.
We missed
That, I sat there, I looked at that, and I was like, you are fucking smart as hell.
Yeah.
Your merch sales just went up. You're utilizing Eric Rowan, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love this. Because, again, that is the difference between someone who we can believe and someone who is trying to make us believe. Daniel Bryan has been established for the last fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
Not 30 years, excuse me.
Whatever.
13 years, excuse me. The last 13 years. Daniel Bryan has been established since Ring of Honor up until this point. Seth Rollins has been established too, but I just don't know what it is as well, to where it's like, I want to believe in you, but you do some stupid shit and it makes me not believe.
Yeah. Absolutely. Or he just says it in such a flat way. You're like, how do you not believe you're one of us? You know what I mean? Like, there's this whole way where he talks to him like, I just want to be a fighting champion. And you're like, you don't sound like you want to, man.
Yeah, you can back it up. We believe that you're a fighting champion, but like, what's your selling point?
Yeah, you don't make me believe you want to be, but you do make me believe you're gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Mm-hmm. But then Daniel Bryan comes out here and says, I don't judge myself by how good I am today, but how good I could be. And you're like, whoa, that's the fighting champion.
Even if he loses, he still puts it to them.
Yeah.
No matter if it's a squash match, he will literally just fight and fight. Like that match with Drew Gulak. That is my favorite match of 2020. for the simple fact that I have seen Drew Gulak wrestle before. I've seen him live, and he is a goddamn brawler. And it wasn't a technical wrestling match; it was a fight, and that's what I loved.
Yeah.
We missed the fact that he is back. Gulak is back, right?
Yeah, Gulak came back. Gulak!
He's back.
Yeah, he's back. But I think that just had to do with his contract negotiations. I get the impression that his contract lapsed during negotiations, but they continued the conversation. And instead of just saying, hey, it's off the table, they said, hey, your contract's expired. We can't have you back on TV until we sort this out. And he was like, fine, then I stay off TV till we sort it out, but can we keep talking? And I have a feeling that the conversation just kept going until they said, this is what we can agree on.
Yeah.
But I thought that line that Daniel Bryan said, where because AJ says, I look in the mirror and I think that I'm and I see the greatest that our industry has had, or the WWE's ever had. And then Daniel Bryan says, I don't judge myself at being the greatest based off of who I am today, but about who I could be. And you just went, that's the one fucking line that anyone ever had to say to go, oh, that's a fighting champion. Like, that's it. There's no other mentality you need.
It's relatable.
Yeah. And you also go, I mean, how many times we've heard these baby faces go, anytime, anywhere, anyone, all you got to do is ask, always open, open challenge. And you just kind of always go, okay, I feel like you're an on-paper fighting champion. You just want to say that you're willing to defend it. But Daniel Bryan told you why he's going to put his heart in it. I can be better with every match, and that's why I never turned down one. Where these other fighting champs are just all like, I just want to have the title on Raw. I just liked seeing it here. I'm just bringing it back. And you're like, that doesn't feel like a personal thing other than just like gloating, right?
Oh,
You want to make the fans invested in you as a babyface, because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one putting either seats and asses, or you're going to be the piss break.
What you just said reminded me of Drew McIntyre.
Oh, fuck.
Not
All
okay.
that.
Oh! Me and Manti have agreed. Cheers to that.
The only reason I'm not a fan is for the love of God. I love his look. I love his wrestling skill. I don't understand the character. What about you coming down to do a fucking Claymore kick makes me believe you? You cut great promos. You're a fantastic wrestler in and out of the ring. But, like, I don't get it.
I don't like his promos at all.
It.
I think he talks naturally, but he talks like a smug piece of shit. And you want me to cheer for you?
If that's what we're running as, yes, that's fine. I'll roll with it, and I'll agree with it better. But if you're a babyface and you're acting like a smug bastard to where I can sit there and be like, you're kind of a dick. You're not a babyface then.
Yeah, he's definitely a dick. And then he's also coming off like, I think I'm funny.
Great.
Yeah. He's a great heel.
You know at the end of the day that I can go babyface, but I thrive better doing something else. Until you either have acquired more skills or to where you're comfortable doing something, you have the platform to where you've done it enough.
Yeah.
His whole indie comeback, he has been a brute force and a babyface that never said anything. The second you hand a fucking microphone to this guy, it's like, oh shit. Like, this is weird. But it could just be a transitional thing to where he's just doing as he's told. Like, we all thought Dean Ambrose's promos were shit, but they were being written for him.
I thought he was awesome on promos before. I feel like now he needs to be reined in a little bit.
TP Poker.
Oh!
TP Poker.
Cheers.
Sorry, one of our long terms just came on in. TP Poker, he gets a chant on the way in. TP Poker, we got Iron Manzi, the one and only, with us today because Clump is out being an idiot.
1 second.
Clump's got an anniversary with his wife. So he brought in the Long Island scumbag himself, Iron Manzi. And he left. So that's good. He's just not. He's like, be right back. So, all right, well.
What's happening? I put up his stuff and everything.
Yeah, his stuff's there, and he's just like, nah. TP Poker, do you and Manzi got beef I didn't know about? You got some heat?
He's waiting for his intro music to play. Yeah. Come back.
No, Manzi's all like that. I remember Poker coming in on my fucking streams and just causing hell.
Not now.
Yeah. Not today. What did you think of the AJ promo, or not AJ promo, but the AJ and Dean Bryan promo, Kevlar?
No, it was good. I liked the, AJ was like, call me a weasel or whatever, and I took the easy route. I don't believe in handouts and stuff. Thought it was good. Daniel Bryan obviously killed it, and yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
I like how you just breezed over the fact that I screamed at the match before, the women.
Lacey and
Sonya.
Yeah, producer was cackling at the beginning of Lacey Sonya when Lacey's coming out and Sonya comes running out and just like decks her and throws her into the steps. You just hear from the kitchen while she's looking over, you hear her go like, and then like it goes to commercial and comes back and she's all like, fuck that bitch, get her, Sonya. I was like, fuck.
It was so good. It was such a good deck.
Yeah. She reminded me a little bit of, remember Goofy movie?
Yeah.
Remember remember the Pauly Shore? You just hear in the background like ha 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 ha, just like into it. That was her.
Great.
Yeah.
See, Sean Spears wasn't the only one.
Yeah. Sonya is her leaning tower of Cheesa.
Right.
I can believe everything Sonya does. I'm sorry. Like, she looks like a fighter. She can deck like a fighter. I like.
Yeah, put your hair up and square up, brother.
That's a great line, though.
It is, but
it's
one of those lines where I'm like, were you really a UFC fighter, though?
She was never in the UFC. She was an MMA fighter who had.
What are you dressing like it for?
Because she had like 2 matches.
Is she trained?
I did jujitsu for fucking 6 years. You see me coming out with a black belt on?
She's still got a 6-pack. She's got arms. She moves like.
I'm also trained for MMA.
You don't see me coming out looking like you.
Well, hey, she looks like if she was in a bar fight, I'd be like, all right, I'm not fucking with her. I can believe
absolutely,
her.
but she's a wrestler.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but I'm buying into this, is what I'm saying. Like
she looks great. The character is like my only issue. That's like my only like driving away point. It's like I love the catchphrase, but like, why are you acting like an MMA fighter if you have no interest in doing it and you haven't done it yet?
Right, but also with the put your hair up and square up is kind of a snooty nod to the rest of the girls in the locker room being like, how about you fucking put some braids in your hair like us real fighters and let's get to it. And you go like, oh, are you fucking mouthing off already? Like, it's kind of a heel shit thing to say. And she did a decent job of making it not seem heelish before, but I was like, that's definitely a heel shit thing to say. But Kevlar, what were you about to say? Who trained MMA?
CM Punk. We saw how that turned out.
That's right. He's a badass.
I mean, hats off to fucking. You get an A for effort. You get a participation ribbon.
I loved that after his second match, that Dana White said the fact that the other guy couldn't knock him out when he looked that bad means that neither of you will ever work for this company again. Like, so good. Like, even the guy who won didn't win good enough.
So I used to illegally stream the the UFC events, like watch it on websites.
No, you didn't. You never did that. You always legally found a way to watch it.
Oh, excuse me. I guess I always found a legally way to watch that.
Yep.
Never did anything like that. Never did anything like that illegal in my life. I am a clean person. How serious you just turned. Holy shit. But I used to watch UFC events at my friend's house. Okay. But this was the one that I had purchased alone myself on the fact that CM Punk was on the card because I was like, all right, I'm really excited in this. He sucked in his first fight. He sounds really good at this one. He's been training hard.
Yeah.
I watched that dude, and oh my fucking god. The guy's sitting on top of him. Punch, punch, punch. Flex. Punch, punch, punch. Punk is just fucking squirming on the ground like a little kid. He's all gassed out.
Yeah. I was watching both fights just to see him get his ass kicked. I was like, "There's no way." Punk's always been in his own head, thinking he's better than he is at everything. And I challenge anyone to honestly watch the Money in the Bank match with him versus John Cena and pay attention, study it. Don't just kind of casually watch it and see what the fans think. Watch it like you're trying to learn, and you convinced me otherwise that John Cena didn't carry that whole fucking match and literally saved CM Punk's life like 4 times. That dude could not get to where he had to be. He kept being in the wrong place. He kept landing fucking funny, and Cena just kept catching him and putting him back. And like, people talk about that being one of the best CM Punk matches of all time, and I think it's one of Cena's greatest moments ever because he made you believe it was CM Punk's greatest match.
Yeah. Takes 2 to tango, but like I said, if you have someone who can lead the dance, and it looks just as good because it makes that person look good because they covered for your shitty work.
We're gonna get to TV Poke here in just a second. Don't think we're ignoring you, buddy. We just want to get through this topic, and we'll get to yours right away. Let me see. With that in mind, though, that's why I wanted to see CM Punk in the UFC fight, was because I knew he was going to think he's better than he is and just get his ass kicked. And the second fight, I was just like, hit him harder! Knock him out!
He's on when he got him in full mount, he's just like flexing. I'm just like, God almighty, this is so dumb.
Yeah. And I loved at the end of it, Dana White's just all like, he couldn't knock him out. The guy looked awful, and he couldn't knock him out. You guys both suck.
Yeah.
We had 2 awful fighters fighting. Like, so good. So to go back to Sonya Deville real quick, we watch Total Divas around here because we like to keep up on content and know all the right stuff, right? You got to keep up on the good stuff, right? Yeah. So Sonya and Ronda Rousey had a talk on there. Yep. You never know what's real or not, right? You just don't know. But it seemed pretty legit, where there seemed to be kind of heat between the two of them because Sonya felt like she was being brushed off by Ronda. And at the certain point, Sonya thought that it was because Ronda didn't think of her as a legitimate fighter, even though she trained MMA and stuff. And then there was a time where they got pulled side by side, and Ronda's all like, it takes so much training and so much gall to get in that cage when they lock that door. She's like, you're one of us. And she was telling she was telling Sonya, like, I will always think of you as one of my peers because of that, because you did that, because it takes so much to do that. And so...
Well, she did make a comment like, oh, well, it seems like she does it for a hobby.
Yeah, she said it was like a hobby.
For Sonya. So that's where Sonya took it seriously.
Yeah, because Ronda's all like, that was my life, that was your hobby. And then Sonya's like, what the fuck? And you're like, you had 2 matches, relax.
Which, I mean,
that's where I kind of draw the line with that a little bit. I'm like, you're not a fighter, and it's kind of stupid.
I love you saying it like that. I draw the line. You had 2 professional fights. That's bullshit.
Okay, so but Ronda's been doing it since she was 14, 13, something crazy.
Something like that. 13, 14 when she got into judo.
Of course, you got 15 years versus 5 is going to be huge difference.
Yeah, but so I'm just saying that because of the mentality, right? So she's like, she only had 2 fights, only this thing. But Ronda also feeds her ego, saying, hey, you did all that training, you did the whole thing, you went the whole way. But she never made it to the UFC, she wasn't on that level, so...
But she did others. She did the reality show.
Yeah. Tough enough.
Yeah, and then she came in W. So, it was just a different path.
Yeah, and I think that it was also... What also was funny at the time was that Sonya thought Ronda was coming in and, like, taking her gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, except for that Ronda lived it. So...
Yeah.
She comes in with that. And also, you don't know who Ronda is without that. We're just learning who you are to begin with. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Only to find out you're just a shitty wrestler at the end of the day.
Yeah, right?
I do think that Sonya took one of Matt Hardy's old jackets.
Yeah, Sonya Deville's in this weird Hardy jacket now. Like, he just left it behind, and he was like, this barely fits my kid anymore.
And she's just like...
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
Wait a second. I can take the sleeves off this sumbitch right now.
I can just hit him with one of these little,
Let's see. We'll go ahead and talk about what TV Poker wants. Well, I guess we already covered Bayley and Sasha winning, right? We talked a lot about that. So we can say that we wrapped up SmackDown and move on to Raw.
Yeah, you freaked out.
I am, however, I was very excited. I didn't know they were going to go that route or do that, and I did jump out of my seat, and I was fucking, yes! Yes! Bring those babies home!
Bayley goes.
Yeah. And I get such a kick out of it. I think that the two of them are so funny together right now. And Bayley running over to Michael Cole's desk and just like holding up the belt. She's like, they're just so heavy. These are so heavy. It's just so much gold. Oh, and she's like dragging him like she can barely carry it. And I was like, obnoxious, funny.
And someone on Twitter pointed out that when Sasha was like decked, I think she was decked and she went over the announcer's table. They're like, as she's going down, she's laughing. They're like, "Why is she laughing? She's getting decked." And I was like, "Because it's fucking hilarious."
Yeah, because she knows.
Because they're
Fucking work, brother.
killing it.
Yeah. Was there anything else about SmackDown before we move on? You guys wanted to hit?
Nah.
All right, so now we're over to Raw. So TB Poker has a
This I didn't
question.
watch.
What?
I didn't watch Raw.
Okay.
I thought you said you did watch Raw.
I thought you were referring to last week's Raw. You didn't specify it, buddy. I've had 3 concussions so far. My memory
God.
is shit.
I've seen some Raws, if that's what you're asking. I'm aware of the show.
Fuck off. I watched last week.
It's all right. We're going to talk about a few things kind of more on the grander scheme of things because nothing specific happened that was so important to really delve into. But TB Poker brings up a question. How high is the ceiling for Montez Ford? Could you see him getting...
Really
Yeah, could you see him getting a big singles push? And then he says how good Sonya's looking. She's in great shape right now. Fighting shape, as they say. Fabtina says that, I'm sorry, Ford is too damn goofy for me to stay interested. And TB Poker says, Ford is electric on TV with great mic work. What do you think about Montez Ford?
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, whoa, what is that?
I think we might need to cut your video, Kevlar.
Oh my God.
You sound like, remember Princess Leia when she went to go pick up Han Solo and she had the thermal detonator? But you didn't know it was Leia yet because she had the Baba mask?
Man's he can't.
Yeah. You remember? She goes to Jabba's palace and she's like, Yoto! Yoto!
You know what this
Yeah. That's the voice that we're getting right now.
Harmless Timo was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Harmless Demo said I was thinking the same thing. I know a voice when I hear it. I can call that shit. Yoto! Yoto!
No, God. You fucking name dropped that. Oh, motherfucker.
Yeah, you gonna
Yeah.
talk shit about Star Wars now, man?
Yeah. So fuck you and your negative Star Wars shit.
Fuck. Oh.
But your audio's so off, Kev. I think we might need to cut your video or maybe just kill the headphones and live with what we got.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. Fuck, it is bad.
Cut your headphones. Just turn off your headphones and talk into the phone.
Oh.
He sounds like if AirPods were made by Android.
I wouldn't be shocked at that, actually.
Hello?
Is the Bluetooth any better?
Yeah, way better. Yeah, those headphones were doing a thing. It was the old,
You sounded like Scottie Pippen's career.
What are you talking about? He was number 2 in the league! Yeah.
Exactly.
You were asking
Number
me
2, buddy. Not number
We're
1.
starting to talk.
Yeah. So, Kevlar, what'd you think about the ceiling for Montez Ford? Could you see him getting a big singles push? I'll tell you this much real quick off the bat. I would not be upset to no longer see Angelo Dawkins at all. So, that in mind, go ahead, Kevlar. Man, he's like, oh.
Marcy's just trying to get...
Fuck.
Marcy's just trying to get rid of them one by one.
Yeah.
Aww.
I just like I said that to move on. You just see Mandy. Ah, come on.
Fucker.
You're not even
Angelo
kind of nice.
Bianca's the only one who should have stayed.
Yeah, where the fuck is Bianca? The EST of Raw doesn't rhyme, so it doesn't work as well. But
She's the only one that should have stayed.
Kevlar, what do you think about Montez Ford as a single star?
I can see it. Like, he's athletic, but unlike TV Poker, I just can't stand him on the mic.
I can't either.
When he had that one promo and he was serious, and he's just like, grit and, hey, I'm going to kick your ass, it was great. But other than that, he just yells all the time.
I think that's what it is. I think he's super insecure and masking it under a hyper security, which is loud, right? one of the things I watched a sit down once with it had Ricky Gervais, Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, and Louis C.K. and they were all talking about comedy and how they started in the business. And one thing I took away from it I thought was really interesting was Chris Rock said specifically of how much he was impressed by Ricky Gervais and his punchlines about how quiet he gets and about how some of the punchlines that Ricky Gervais delivers is just a movement of the eyes. He goes, you literally will give a look, and that's the joke. And Chris Rock says, I'm so insecure about my comedy, I yell my punchline 3 times. And I will turn my punchline into a catchphrase for the whole special. And I will yell it as loud as I can, basically asking the audience to please laugh. And I mean, it was a really cool insight to just hear even a guy be aware of that. You know what I mean? And to think of how great he is and how much we love him. And for him to say that I'm insecure and that's why I deliver it so loud. Because loudness shields that. And I get the impression that Montez Ford is the same on the mic. He goes out there and yells and uses The Rock's catchphrases and other people's catchphrases and performs like the Ultimate Warrior because he's afraid to be him. Because I don't think he could stand the idea of people not liking him.
And like, once we get done polishing off the character itself and we start seeing more of him, let's just say he gets a single push and Flo Dawkins is his own thing, I think if we get that confidence out of him, we're going to see something great.
Yes.
The guy's athletic as hell. He can talk in the mic, and he shows that he doesn't get nervous in front of the crowd.
Correct.
If we can just take certain standpoints of him and just make him work on that, and let's just say probably 2 years time, he more than likely can be probably one of the best mid-carders. If not, he can be a main eventer with the right storytelling and the right booking.
And with steroids.
No.
I'm just kidding. I was doing the Billy Graham thing.
He just needs a different outfit, that's all.
That's a yellow flag on the play right there.
Yeah.
Flag for this show. If you guys have me back next, I'm just gonna pull out like fucking flag where you do something stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, no, fucking Mark.
Yeah. Just never want to see Dawkins again. Fucking yellow all over the place. Come on,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Long thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
I get the impression that Dawkins has been around for so long in the PC that they felt kind of bad for him, and they were like, "Look, we'll just put you out there with him, and you guys will do something." Just because I feel like everything we've heard about Dawkins has been like, "Oh, you've been the crash pad for Alexa Bliss when she was starting." Like, that's what you did at the PC, and that's kind of sad. Yeah,
she started. So the way she did the Twisted Bliss, she practiced on Angelo Dawkins. He just laid there, and while she just did 100,000 Twisted Blisses.
Yeah.
I was all like, that's not the worst job, but I don't.
It's not where you want to be in a company like that. Like,
yeah. It's been there 7 years.
I'd sign up for that job because I want in, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be Nia Jax's crash pad though.
Doing what they're told,
What?
Stop.
What? I'm concerned about my bone structure.
Stop it.
You have to find the bone structure first, buddy. It's okay.
No, my own. Can you just go here and take a few Vader bombs from Nia? Can't. I quit. I'm out. That's it.
Hey, JBL wants to do this news clothesline.
He just wants to give it a few goes. All right, well, my dream's over.
Really low and hope for the best.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah. He wants to try a few things. You just look at him. All right. You're willing to do it? No, I'm just coming to terms with my dream is dead. I will never go further in this company. That's as far as I can go.
What are you counting? Oh, the amount of teeth I'm about to fucking lose.
Yeah.
Based on impact.
But, yeah, Dawkins has started to look less tubby.
He's actually working out for the first time in a decade. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, you live in a gym, basically.
He lives there.
It's crazy.
Nia Jax needs about 8-cylinder plus for crash. She'd still fucking hurt it. What do you mean?
Yeah, she'd be fine. Poker says Bianca Belair is amazing. Should be main eventer. I'll tell you this. Hot take coming right at you. Watching the triple threat at NXT TakeOver, I thought should have been Bianca.
I said that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if I was Bianca, I'd be like, damn it. This is something I could have been fucking main eventing.
Yeah, not to take away anything from Io, but that storyline was Bianca's. And they yoinked her out of there, put her over on Raw, and said, to hell with you, I guess. I don't know.
Hopefully
and,
not.
and...
What the fuck are they going to do with her on Raw? like realistically, there's so much more that NXT has to offer than the main roster sometimes.
Yes.
I feel like creatively, NXT, you have so many options that you can do because you're so early in your career to where your input matters. I'm not saying in the main roster your input doesn't matter, but you need to establish yourself before your opinion can matter in the main roster, I feel like. And I feel like if you throw out your opinion in the main roster, they're going to take your idea. They're just going to tweak it to their own. NXT, if I have an idea or someone else has an idea, we'll take that into consideration. We'll give you it a shot, but it's on like a short string.
Yeah.
Like this is like the amount of room you have. If it goes bigger, obviously we can stretch it out and then make it go further. You know, with the main roster, you don't even get that opportunity. You know, with someone like Bianca Belair, with someone as so unique as that character, and with her skill set as well, it can go far in the main roster. But again, that's where you put booking in between that, and you hope for the best.
Yeah.
I would like to think that they're doing a rebranding with her, just because I know that's happened from people going to brand, maybe, but
yeah.
Yeah, I don't get the impression they're going to change Bianca too much, though.
Really? Well,
what would you change it for? She's a very, I get like an early Carmella kind of vibe where like she can just flaunt it and whoop your ass at the same time. You know, like I love the cockiness and the sassiness of this character. So the arrogance is what I love the most.
Yeah, and her whole like every promo she was in against Charlotte was fucking money, dude.
Yeah.
Like
it's great. Like she can talk the shit and back it up.
She does. I think that she's got the right balance that Montez Ford doesn't. I think that's the big difference. Is she knows how to exaggerate to get her point across.
Well, Montez Ford is just 110 degrees up here every time. She brings us down to level, makes you understand it, and then boom, punchline right there.
Yeah.
Makes you get it. And then that's a good storyteller right there. If they can bring you back down from wherever you're up here, make you understand why the hell am I fighting this person, and then just project it, beautiful.
And then still be true to herself, too. Like, the whole thing where Charlotte puts her hand in Bianca's face, and then her whole, like, whoa, and then, like, she's just she's walking back and forth, she's like, okay, and then like, she's, like, pacing and shit, and, like, okay, and, like, she's not even part of the conversation, but she's still a focus, but she's also not pulling away from what's happening with the conversation. You're just like, that was done so expertly. Where if that was like Montez, he'd been screaming over everybody, and he would have been running over them, and then doing the worm in front of them, and then going between their legs, and you're just like, you know what I mean?
Away from it.
Yeah.
Oh, Marsh.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to cut my time short. I'm going to try helping out around the house. My grandmother recently got home from the hospital, so I'm going to help her out with the oxygen tank and things like that, and then try to help her into bed.
I think we're about wrapping up here anyways, to be honest. If you need to jump out immediately, that's all fine.
Not immediately, but like I'll do a quick like little outro with you guys.
Yeah, we could do an outro. As far as Raw goes, I mean, TV Poker, correct me if... TV Poker also says that Bianca's a much better wrestler than Carmella. That's hard to argue.
They're both on the same skill level, if not... Bianca's probably a little bit more versatile.
Her strength is next level, and Carmella is very good. I think Carmella needs the right dance partner. I think Bianca has the strength level to make anyone the right dance partner with enough training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Viking Raiders and Street Profits are still doing their same goofy shit, and I'm fucking tired of it.
I fell asleep.
Yeah. That's one of those. These instances of Street Profits and Viking Raiders doing these goofy side things are things that make me think, okay, well, it's hard to argue that's not for children because I can't imagine adults liking that. But it's also part of the reason why it's hard for me to get behind Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins when it's all about how loud they are versus the Viking Raiders, who I'm having a hard time getting behind them right now. So then they tried to have a match later on.
That's just bad booking, but those guys are just fucking monsters inside the ring and incredibly talented.
And they're amazing. They throw each other at people.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like 300 pounds. That's sick.
Yeah. Apart from that, Bayley and Sasha on commentary during the Asuka Charlotte match was fucking hysterical. So if you guys didn't check that out, it'd be worth watching. Let's see. Like I said, we got a steak. Raw. This is Usos Revival Part 2. Corny shit. I actually think this is cornier. I thought that
you can't tell me that it's not cornier than that, brother.
Yeah.
That shit's cornier, but it's fucking bad.
Yeah. And I really thought that Edge and Christian did a great job working together again. It's really cool to see them back together. First time in a long time. So very cool. With that in mind, Manzi, where can they find you on Facebook?
So you guys can find it'll pop up on the slide here in a minute, but so it's a funny story about this. I made my Facebook wrestling account. Scumbags Forever was taken, but you can find me on Facebook at Scumbags Are Forev with 2 E's at the end of that. You can find me on Instagram at Manzi155. You can find me on Pro Wrestling Tees, where you can get an amazing shirt like this. This is my newest design right here. This is inspired by the early 90s Gordon Fisherman logo for the New York Islanders. I'm a big hockey guy. You can find me on Twitter at LIScumbag97, where you'll typically be looking at me calling other people jackasses and insulting their intelligence, because I'm kind of a dick on Twitter sometimes. You can also, excuse me, you can find me at some of your local shows too. You know, I'm an independent wrestler out here, so with the current pandemic going on right now, guys, you can also look me up on YouTube and see some of the matches I've had if you type in Iron Man.
Yep, he's currently out in New York, but he does still travel. We have seen him come around a few times.
You can catch me on Revolt Wrestling, High Impact Wrestling, Crimson Crown Wrestling, Party Hard Wrestling, as well as upcoming very soon. Wouldn't supposed to say that, but you know, that's
but you never know.
A little hint for the future coming up here soon.
You heard it here first.
You guys catch me all over the place, and hopefully catch me yelling in your face and telling you why you're all worthless pieces of garbage.
That's right. That's not information's going out anywhere else. You heard it here first.
I'm the Long Island scumbag, and I absolutely love your show, Martian. I've been we've been friends for a little bit now, and I've seen how far you've come. And this show is excellent. You have turned yourself into a great host of this show, and I love every bit of it. And I would be absolutely honored to come back and to bullshit with you guys some more, and to just have fun on here and talk wrestling. Because, like I said, wrestling needs a little bit more positivity. And yeah, that's really it.
Yeah.
I don't know how far we've come.
Yeah.
That's really nice, though.
Well, the show, again, like when I first saw it, and Marsh came to me because I was doing Twitch at the time, I gave him some pointers, and I was like, this is what you need to do, these are your guidelines, that's it, you know? And we, like, briefly spoke about it. Other than that, like, we talked about a lot of wrestling stuff, and, you know, for someone like you to have come so far on this app is really fucking cool, and I'm very happy to be here, and thank you guys so much. I'm going to leave soon. But as I always say, remember, scumbags are forever.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. We'll have you back another time for sure. That's Iron Manzi. He may be a big hockey fan, but Marco Stunt is a little hockey fan. Yeah, I mean, what we try to be every time is a bunch of guys who like to drink and talk wrestling and bring positivity to it, because at the end of the day, we don't have to agree, and we definitely do not agree, and we will not always agree, but we can have a drink together and hang out and yell at each other for it. But at the end of the day, it's all about the faction, as it were. So hopefully we get Iron Manzi on a few more here as we go from time to time. Anytime you guys flake out due to your personal lives and families and jobs and all of the bogus stuff that people make up that doesn't really exist. Let me see. I feel like there's something else. I think our big niche. I think why we're doing well is because here at Wrestling on the Rocks, every show is like our first show. You never miss the last show because we still can't get this shit right. Kevlar, you got anything else to throw out there? Check out our Pro Wrestling Tees. Get a Pointless Aggression t-shirt. You never put ours up? The whole time we've been flaunting Manzi's shirts, and we don't even see a dime on that. We're doing this all wrong.
There we go.
Plug the show.
I know, he plugged the whole thing. We didn't even, none of ours up. I don't even have a loaded fart ready to go for an outro. We don't even have our shirts up. It's falling apart, man.
Shirts are up. There you go.
But I think that's it for us. Check us out, prowrestlingtees.com/wrestlingontherocks. Go to wrestlingontherocks.com. It'll direct you to anything that you want. And check us out next week. Kevlar, you got anything else to say to the guys?
I don't think so. Cheers. Till next week.
Last call.